Alright. Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your host, Mr. BDA, with you, and along with me, as always, my co-host, King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sensational. Now, we haven't done this in a while, guys, but if you want to join us, go on right ahead, scamper on over to Google Hangouts, send us an instant message via the email address that's on the top of your screen, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. That's boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Send us your email address so we can send you the invite and you're in. Lots to talk about this week, a lot of activity. Still also have to tidy up some things from last week as well. But the boxing world is booming, man. Let me tell you that much right now. And of course, we have everybody's favorite fighter, Gennady Golovkin, fighting this Saturday against the late replacement, Haye-Bellew. Remains to be seen whether Martirosyan can put up a good fight, since he hasn't fought. What is it now, Bucho? He hasn't fought in about a year or something like that. So, or I think more than that. Anyway, I still haven't been...
Yeah, 2 years, I think.
Wow. But anyway, hopefully he puts on a good fight, a good performance, or tries to. Or at least Golovkin, even if Golovkin knocks him out in 2 rounds, but at least he knocks him out. Also, we have to talk about Ryan Garcia, who's going to be fighting on Friday. There's also going to be another fight on Saturday, which is David Haye in his rematch against Tony Bellew. Of course, Bellew beat him in the first match. A little controversial or incomplete, a sense of incompleteness, because Haye ended up quitting because he said he had an ankle injury, and he did appear to have one. But anyway, also the big thing that we want to talk about a little bit is this whole, again, I know you guys might be tired of it, I know I am, but this whole Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, it's really driving people nuts to the point, I've never even seen this before. Even when Pacquiao and Mayweather weren't fighting each other for 5 years, or even Canelo Golovkin for that period of 2 years that they should have fought, the people on the internet are going insane. The YouTube community, the chat rooms, the message boards, this is insane. Now, Bucho, I know you've been following this a lot closer than I have, so I know you got some things to say about that.
Yeah, I was watching that interview between Ness and Eddie Hearn. There was also, I don't know who was interviewing Eddie Hearn in another interview. It was, I don't know, I saw it in Fight Hub, but I don't know who the guy who was asking question, who it was. Maybe it was a guy from Fight Hub. Anyways, point is, man, these guys kept asking the same questions. They kept asking, like, for example, why aren't you signing the? Don't you just say yes to the $50 million offer? And he kept explaining, I can't say yes, until I see what's until I see a contract, basically. And they go, well, you can just say yes. You can't say yes, man.
You could, but that doesn't mean...
he's willing to go sit down with them. So that's basically saying, yeah, I'm interested in the offer. Let's sit down and talk about it. But they don't want to sit down and talk about it. So I'm like, it's so confusing.
And by the way, that whole thing where he said the guy was asking Eddie Hearn, why don't you just say yes? Well, Eddie Hearn could have said yes, but it would be meaningless. Because like he was saying, you can't, there's a shitload of things to work out and a lot of details to iron out before you can even talk about saying that the fight is made. And so for the guy who was interviewing Eddie, what's his name?
Ness.
The
boxing voice.
Yeah, the guy from the boxing voice. For him to be saying, like, you could tell he came in there without having any facts. He thought, hey, I'm going to ask him hard questions, and Eddie Hearn he's just going to stammer. And he's not gonna know what to say, and at the end it was Ness who didn't know what to say, man. He kept talking because obviously he wasn't gonna admit that he was wrong, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Hold on, let me just add this on Twitter. I'm adding the link, and then I'll properly explain.
I'll say a couple of things. Yeah, I'll say a couple of things, and before Bucha comes back, because he's the one that's been following this whole thing with more closer eye than I have. But because really, I'm tired of it. We spoke about this 2 times, especially since the 50 million offer, the famous 50 million offer was given. We talked about that live. It happened as we were on the air. And so we discussed it a little bit, and then we discussed it with some of the guys that weren't there. But to me, that was enough. But you go on YouTube, man. These people, oh, this guy's avoiding that guy. Eddie Hearn's a bitch. Eddie Hearn's a pimp. No, it's the Wilder who's a pimp. No, it's the other guy who's a pimp. It's like, oh man, it doesn't stop. And this video, I couldn't. Bucho sent it to me on Sunday. He sent me the link to it. I gotta be honest, I couldn't get through the first minute without stopping it. I had to stop it every 20 seconds because I was cringing. This is how far some people have taken this. Now again, like Boxing Killers TV said, this is about views. I mean, I don't think, and I hope nobody is so stupid to believe that they're actually on a crusade by demonizing Anthony Joshua and vice versa. You know, the Joshua fangirls also are demonizing Wilder, saying that both of these guys are scared. But I mean, really think about it. They're talking about money, right? The fans, they're talking about money. Oh, he doesn't want to get, he wants to get paid. That guy offered him 50 million, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if you're so concerned with money and money is so important to you, then you should understand that the fight's going to happen because there's too much money to be made. They're not going to be making that amount of money or that the payday that they would stand to make if they didn't fight each other. So this whole haggling over money and complaining about how Wilder should be getting paid more or no, it actually should be Joshua because it's the A side, it's irrelevant because they're going to be fighting. Mr. Cox, he says, BDA, it's not a promotion anymore. It's become bad. It's become disgusting, really. And then again, it's not a big deal to me. I'm not telling you that I'm sitting here crying about the state of boxing. I'm just surprised and laughing at how things have devolved. Are you back, Pucho?
Yes. All right, man. So let's get to this fucking. I wrote some stuff about concerning this supposedly. It's not even an interview because it's so unprofessional. I don't know what the fuck is this. But anyways, okay. So I wrote here. I wrote in a telegraphic fashion, so it's not really like I didn't write sentences, obviously, right?
Okay.
So they kept asking him, okay, well, okay, Eddie, hey, can Heyman come up with the money? And he goes like, yes. But the problem is that, just because you can doesn't mean you have the money, correct? You listening?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what I mean? So, like, what's the problem in asking to see the money? Or knowing more about where the money is coming from? I don't understand what the problem with that is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go between the interview that Ness had with Eddie Hearn and this other guy. I think he's from Fight Hype. I'm not sure. Like I said, I saw the video from Fight Hub, the YouTube channel. Okay, so so this guy. Yeah. So you don't believe Al Heyman has the money? How successful is the PBC? And then Eddie Hearn goes like, "Do you really believe that the PBC is that successful?" So basically, what's happening here is these people are delusional. They come in asking questions with already some fucking ideas, preconceived ideas, right? And hence why they ask retarded questions, because they live in their own fucking la la land, man.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I wanted to ask you. Because in the beginning, this Ness guy was asking Hearn, like he was trying to bait him or poke him, provoke him by asking him, "Oh, you know who we are, right? Like you watch the show. Oh, you watch the show. You like trying to get Hearn to admit that he listens to the Boxing Voice, as if that's an admission of." See, that's the whole problem nowadays with a lot of these people that want to be famous just for fame's sakes. He doesn't care about what type of product he puts out. He doesn't care about, all he wants to, that's the way it seems to me. All he cares about is getting his name out there. Hence, when people told him to put, like in the comments, because again, I know you're going to talk about this, but if you go to the comment section of that video, there's for every positive comment about Ness, there's 50 more, I'm not kidding, that are negative and saying, what the fuck is this?
I understand what you're saying, that they just want to put their name out there, these reporters, and so hence why they ask this type of questions. I would disagree with that, because the questions are completely ridiculous. That they're making themselves a disservice by asking these questions because they look like stupid clowns. You know what I mean? Like I know you want to get your name out there, but there's limits.
Hmm.
At some point, you start like it's a hindrance. Not a hindrance. It's detrimental.
Yeah, I didn't say.
For
I didn't
example,
say.
no, I know. I'm just clarifying
No, you
for
don't know.
some. I know you didn't.
Oh,
But
go ahead.
anyways, because some people might, I don't know, you don't know, might misconstrue what you just said. Now, here,
Okay.
at some point, this guy from Fight Hype, I keep saying Fight Hype. I'm not sure if he fights. Okay, let's not say he's from Fight Hype. This guy, this reporter, asks, and he's about to fucking cry. Okay, and maybe I'm paraphrasing here because I didn't write the exact quote. It's not an exact quote. So he's about to cry. He's like, Al Heyman is very successful. And for you to ask where the money is coming from, it's a slap in the face of Al Heyman. Like,
Oh my
what?
god.
Who asks that type of fucking question? It's like Al Heyman is his fucking father.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That question sounds completely unprofessional. It's completely irrelevant, to be honest. I mean, like a slap to the face of Al Heyman just because you're questioning where the money is. Like, if you use your head, it's a business, right? You're gonna ask where
Right.
the money is. I don't care who the fuck it is. You're gonna
Exactly.
ask
Yeah.
for what you want. You want to see the money. It's a business transaction that's gonna be happy. Well, yeah, it's a contract that they want to sign, right?
Hmm.
And this guy starts talking about feelings. Al Heyman is very successful, and for you to ask where the money is coming from is a slap in the face of Al Heyman. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Why
Who
is he
gives
so
a
concerned? Why
fuck?
is he so concerned about Al Heyman and how, whether somebody
Because, like I
slaps
said,
him in the
yeah,
face
oh yeah,
metaphorically or
we know
not?
why. Because they are coming in with already these preconceptions, these ideas, and to be honest, it makes these people spew these fucking ridiculous questions.
Hmm.
They're already right in the head. They shouldn't be this emotional and become reporters. They're already biased to begin with now. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
anyways, it's just ridiculous. I mean,
It-
it's
uh,
just God.
That's what I'm saying.
Some
It's
people.
it's 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 funny in a way, but then there's also other moments where I go on YouTube and I see the recommended videos and all that, and I go, oh, shit, I gotta take a break from boxing for a little bit, or at least the boxing YouTube community, because it's insane. I've never seen anything like this before, ever. Even Pacquiao Mayweather, like I said, and now they're talking about a boycott. It's like, what the fuck? Boycott what? I don't understand what's going on. It's Steve Kim and other people in Precise Puncher. They've talked about this, about how it would appear people are so concerned. All of a sudden, they're so concerned with people's finances, with boxers' finances, or with Al Heyman's feelings. Let me tell you, Al Heyman, if somebody says something negative about his inability to raise money for a fight or something, he's not sitting around crying. He's a doer. He's not a talker. Hence why he's where he's at right now. That's that everything he's achieved. It's because he's taken actions, and he doesn't care what people think. We can criticize him. He doesn't care, and that's what everybody should be doing in their own lives, as opposed to these reporters. And by the way, I'm also criticizing the AJ fangirls. I'm not just going after the Wilder sexuals, because they're both on the same spectrum of emotional distress or instability, as you put it, Bucho, that they're at where they're at right now, and it's insanity. This is supposed to be boxing, it's supposed to be fun, and yet people only bitch and moan about it. Now, do you think they're really emotionally invested in this, or they just get it out
Yes,
of their system? And
yes. And by the way, you can't say that this type of behavior is coming from both sides, both the Wilder and the Joshua sides.
Mhm,
Obviously, both sides. Every boxer has super fanboys, right? That support them.
mhm.
But in this case, from what I've been seeing, and I think people will agree with me, it's the Wilder fans that are the most that have seem to have a bigger emotional investment in this whole
I
situation.
agree, but can
It's,
we also? But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I didn't say one they were equal, but I'm saying that they're both on the same
I'm,
spectrum.
I agree. I just want to make it clear
Mhm.
that there's one side that's
And by the way,
more invested in this.
I don't know if you heard the comment that I made earlier about how everybody's so focused on the money. The money. Where's he gonna get the money? And then some people say, no, 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 he has it, and blah blah blah. But they seriously think, some of these people, they seriously think that the fight isn't gonna happen, which begs the question: why are they so worried about discussing money then? Because the fact is,
Yeah,
this
I
fight
don't.
is going to be the biggest money fight for for both Wilder and Joshua. So why wouldn't it happen?
They're not discussing money. The money is part of it, but they are discussing who's afraid of who.
Hmm.
Like street talk. It's street shit. Like he's afraid of me. His a challenge has been set. Now the other guy has to respond, and let's see who's scared. And it's like it's not. That's not how negotiations are operate.
That's why.
Like
That's why
or
I don't.
like
That's why I
they
don't even
believe they
address.
think that it's WWE fantasy land.
Well,
When
a
the
lot
guy
of these.
calls the other guy out and he goes, "Yeah, we'll fight tomorrow," at the Superdome or I don't know where.
Well, you know what?
Like,
A lot of these guys are still WWE fans. That's why. Like they can't differentiate boxing from WWE. For them, WWE, the WWE backstage stuff, the talking and the promos and all that, that's perfectly fine for boxing as well. Like they can't differentiate boxing and sports entertainment as they call it.
yeah, exactly. They think it's the same shit.
And by the way,
It's really it's.
that's why I don't
Imagine, yeah,
even
you're gonna accept a
address.
deal through the internet.
That's why I don't even
That's like
address. Go ahead,
what?
go ahead. Sorry.
You're gonna accept a deal via Instagram. Oh no, they have to say yes to the 50 million, then they can sit down.
Yeah.
So why not just invite the other party to sit down with you and negotiate the fight and explain where you're gonna get the 50 million and let's get things going and moving forward.
Hmm. Yeah, and by the way, that's the other thing, right? That they're saying, like Ness was asking Eddie Hearn, why don't you just say yes and then take a meeting? Well, apparently Shirley Finkel canceled the meetings last week.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
doesn't want to sit, so it was all a PR move essentially, which is what we said during the. Remember when we were doing the podcast last week, and the story broke while we were on the air about the $50 million offer, and then in the Instagram video you see Deontay Wilder talking about the offer, and then they show a clip of Joshua saying the only way I would make this fight would be for 50 million. So that was a brilliant PR move, but unfortunately it wasn't a perfect PR move because Shelley Finkel, they never really wanted to sit down and talk about that offer in the first place. It was all just to position themselves as the guys that made the offer, Joshua the guy that rejected it. And so now when Wilder fights Brazil, which is a horrible fight, honestly. I mean, honestly, of course you guys know. I don't have to say honestly. You guys know it's a. I mean, come on, Brazil. But anyway, then they can say, oh, well, you see, we'll have to take it because Joshua didn't accept the $50 million offer, which was quite
Yeah,
generous.
exactly. That's a possibility. Also, just going back to the why Eddie Hearn can say yes. When he
Mhm.
says yes, we want the 15 million. Like we agree to the 15 million, even though they don't even know the details of it.
Right.
Then okay, let's say they say yes. They sit down, and then they go like, "Whoa, wait a minute. We don't like what you're proposing here. I mean, you want you let's say you want Joshua to wear like a fucking speedo during the fight or something like that, right?" And so they back out of the negotiations.
Right.
Then what's gonna happen? Well, no, no, no. You agreed. You said yes. Now you're backing out. You're going against your word. Well, so you can't just say yes to the 50 million fantasy offer there.
You know what
Eventually, you
this
gotta
whole
sit
thing?
down and look at a contract.
You know
So I
what
don't
this
know
whole?
what's so hard to understand for these people.
You know what this
It's
whole
really,
thing reminds me
and
of?
oh my god, it's insanity, man.
I know.
They're fucking insane.
Like I
It's
said,
so
I've never
ridiculous.
seen this.
And then oh well,
There you go.
Joshua fans are the same way. I'm sorry, but yes, there's delusional Joshua fans. But from what I've been looking at, from what I've been noticing here, is it's Wilder fans that are fucking insane.
Hmm.
They're fucking insane. Let me just. I wrote something else here.
Go ahead.
It's fucking delusional. Okay. Then Eddie Hearn says like, I got an email from a guy from Alabama, right? Wilder.
Uh-huh.
I got an email from a guy from Alabama, and that reporter goes like, again, sounds like he's gonna fucking cry. What? Why do you say that he's from Alabama? What are you like? He's trying to make this some sort of like racial thing or nationalistic. I don't know.
Oh, you gotta
Why are you
find us
saying
the
that he's from
link.
Alabama? Like who? He is from Alabama. I don't give a. What's the? He is from Alabama. Is he not?
Yeah.
What the hell is that type of question? What are you saying? Why are you saying he's from Alabama? My God! I mean, just that's just to show you how crazy these fucking people are, how emotional they are, and they have some fucking psychological issues, man. I don't know what it is, but they have to fucking do some
Well, let me just read
what's the
real
Freudian
quick.
thing? Okay,
Let me just read real quick what people are saying in the chat room. This fight needs a contract, says Mr. Coxey. I mean, that's obvious right there. I mean, that's common sense. Giselle Saragossa says Wilder and Joshua are discussing whether it's a first blood match or a cage match. Mighty Claire says, I hope the fight never happens just so that both sides miss out on the money. I am already sick of hearing about this. Ivan Chuberki says, Delusional is substitute for stupid Bucho in their case. Pavel says, Beyond Gay would only redeem himself and his despicable boxing record if he knocked Aju's spark out with his right hand. So you can see people are really... They've had it with this bullshit. Absolutely have it. And by the way, we got Cameron and Stu on the line.
I wasn't bad, though.
I told you what's going to happen to Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
And we got, like I said, Cameron on the line.
Fuck, mate, it's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Because everybody's got their weird fetishes, man. And mine just happens to be eating fucking ass.
Can't go wrong with that. Gentlemen, thank you for being on the show. I hope you're doing well.
No problem. Yeah, good.
All right, so Ucho's going on and on about this whole Deontay Wilder-Joshua negotiation, which is really starting to hit peak levels of insanity, something that we've never seen before, either with Pacquiao Mayweather or Canelo Golovkin. I don't know, we were talking about the interview that Ness from the Boxing Voice did with Eddie Hearn, and how despite being made look like a fool, the video continues to be up because, hey, it's attracting views. That's all that matters now on YouTube. So I'll start with Stu. What are your thoughts on this?
Fucking car crash interview, wasn't it?
Mm.
God dear. I mean, what was Nesta Gibbs thinking? It was like trying to explain the alphabet to a little child, wasn't it? I mean, the guy just couldn't connect the dots. It was like talking to Balsa wood. I mean, it was Nesta. I mean, I was cringing at the screen, embarrassed for him. I mean, I understand. You know, you can ask these promoters difficult questions. I get that bit, and I enjoy that bit. But this guy's sitting there arguing with the guy, but then when he's bringing his arguments forward, they're not even arguments that got any facts behind them. So when he gets put right, he's lost again. I mean, Eddie Hearn, I mean, just was spanking him all over the place, and it was well, I said, can you remember the other night on the show? I said that fucking when you are a biased channel, your channel will suffer. And I think if you read Nesta's comment section on that interview, you'll see what I'm on about. Because fuck me, not only did he get spanked by Eddie Hearn, he came home and got spanked by his followers on the fucking comment section. So
yeah, he's
all round spankings for Nesta. The problem is Nesta's got no idea of how business works. He thinks that he's talking about signing up for fights for $50 million, and then, you know, actually signing on the day of the fight. You know, just do a handshake agreement or an agreement, and we'll sign the day of the fight. I mean, who in their right mind is going to put up the training camp money and all their time and effort and that hard work in the camps, the sparring, the nutrition, and then for it could fall through at any time. You want the contract signed before you even go to training. I mean, some of the stuff he was coming out with, it was fucking mind blowing. And then when he talked about Danny Jacobs' Selecki fight only doing 6,000, arguing with Eddie Hearn about it, I thought, fuck me, it just don't get no lower than this, you know. So that's my opinion of it. It was a disaster for Nesta, but it was very entertaining. I'll give you that.
Well, that's the thing then, and I want to ask Cameron about this. Cameron, did you watch the video?
First off, how you doing, fellas? It's good to be back on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I haven't seen this interview. Not yet. Anyway, I've seen comments, and I've seen people on Twitter screenshotting the comments on the video and everything. I've read a few of them. I'm gonna go. You know, I don't really follow the Boxing Voices channel. Well, in fact, I don't at all no more. So I don't really pick it up. But from what I've seen, it's got a lot of negative feedback. I'm gonna go watch it. You know, but it's not the first video that Ness has done which has got a lot of criticism. So yeah, I mean, I'll go back and watch it and I'll get my thoughts on it.
Well, that's the the point, because as Stu said, well, it was entertaining, and I'm pretty sure that's the way the people over at the Boxing Voice are looking at it, which is, hey, they're talking about us. So that's good. In other words, they're following the adage.
Credibility totally gone. Credibility totally gone.
But that's what I'm saying.
They've proved that they're not an unbiased channel. They've got their agenda. I mean, Deontay Wilder is going to finish this guy. His love for Deontay Wilder is going to finish this guy's channel if he's not careful, because that was shockingly bad. I mean, Eddie Hearn even said to when he mentioned I film London TV, he said a proper fucking outfit, and he's right, because they are. And if you want to get to them sort of levels, you have to be straight down the middle and give both sides of the argument. This guy's sitting there arguing for Deontay Wilder, and he's a reporter. It's not his job to do that. He's not getting paid to do this. And you've only got to look. I mean, his integrity's gone. If you've got no integrity, and if you think someone's a fucking idiot, you're not going to keep tuning in to listen to the guy, are you?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's happened a while. I think a few years ago, Ness's biased opinion towards Wilder was exposed years ago. There's nothing really anything new, but yeah, Stu's right. I mean, if you keep going along with this agendas, it goes for anybody, not just targeting Ness. If you're a reporter and you've got a biased agenda, it's going to tarnish your reputation, and it's not going to, if you burn bridges with certain people in boxing, you're not going to get them back.
Exactly, that's the thing, and that's what I'm trying to get at here, because again, I'm pretty sure they're looking at it from the point of view of all publicity is good publicity. But here's that's their argument. Like, oh, you people are talking about us. You know who we are. Yeah, we know who you are. You know who else had a lot of notoriety? Jeffrey Dahmer. But just because people don't know you doesn't mean you're in a good position. Second of all, if that's all you care about, views, then where do you stop? Do you have a line? Do you have a limit? Because what's preventing you from just sticking a dildo up your ass and filming it and putting it on YouTube or something? Because now that way people know about you.
It's okay that video might be getting decent views, but no one's going to, the sensible boxing videos that he does, the normal ones where you're interviewing these young fighters, no one's going to watch them because he's got no. Well, he's a laughing stock at the moment. It's a shame, really, because the guy is quite talented at being a host of a show and interviewing. He's let his love for Deontay Wilder cloud his judgment, and it's going to end up ruining his show. I mean, no one's going to take this guy serious if he carries on like that, man. He's telling Eddie Hearn how to do a job, but everything he said was so retarded. He didn't even have an argument. He didn't even have an argument.
When I first started listening to the show, which was like 4 years ago, I thought it was a good show, man. I thought the panel was good and everything like that, but nowhere near as good as it was back in the day. But like Stu said, he's got the personality, Ness, got the confidence, he's got the voice for a good reporter, but he's just wasting it, man.
Yes, because let's be real, Deontay Wilder's not going to fund this guy. This guy, I know Nesta personally. This guy, that is his living, yeah? And I want the guy to do well. I do. Do you know what I mean? I want him to have a good living so he can fucking pay for his kids and his house. But I don't know if that's the right way to go about it when you start burning bridges and start fucking calling out promoters and and talking about deals that can never be made. Anyone with a 30 IQ could work out that them deals can't be made like that. But he hasn't clocked in Les's brain. I mean, I do like Nesta, but it was just car crash interview from
too emotional.
First minute to the.
You got too emotional.
What do you mean by?
Well, when you get too emotional, you're actually over.
Emotional. Sorry, I thought you said promotional.
Oh, no, sorry, emotional. Yeah, you overpowers the rationality of your mind, and that's what happened with Ness. He got too emotional. I mean, he's close friends with Wilder, I think. So, but come on, man, you gotta be a professional.
I mean, I used to call into the show. I used to enjoy it. We're talking years ago when in the panel. I only really. I still am kind of good friends with Mario, who was on the panel. We talked quite a lot. I used to call in. When he went off the show, I just stopped calling in, man. The show years ago was really good. I'll be honest with you. Now, I mean, I can't remember the last time I tuned into it, man. I think whoever's on the panel now, it's a load of trash, really.
Well, I mean, look.
I can't remember the last time I listened to the Boxing Voice. Butch Show had to send me the link for me to see it because I just wouldn't have seen it otherwise.
Well, look, listen. Again,
it was like a year and a half ago I called in, man.
How long have they been around, by the way?
Well, I started listening to that show about 6-7 years ago, man.
Okay, so they've been around
a while. When that show first came out, it was like It was like this show. It was fucking from the streets. Everyone kept it real. There was no, you know, fanboyism and no censoring sort of thing. But as he built his brand, he started to go very commercial. And that's when you started getting told what you couldn't say, and don't bash this fighter because then he won't give us an interview and all that lot. And it was it sort of took it from the streets to the commercial side, and it was better financially for him. But for me, the entertainment weren't as good.
Yeah, the point should be the entertainment, really. Yeah, go ahead, Cameron.
I think there's a balance as a reporter. I think, yeah, you don't have to be biased. You can keep it real, but there's a way of keeping it real without burning bridges. And I don't think he's found that balance. I think there's you can keep it real. You may upset a few people, but most of the time, when it comes to Eddie Hearn, he's the type of player. If you keep it real and you put facts on him, you're in an argument with Eddie Hearn, you put facts on him, he will, he'll take it. You know what I mean? He won't start getting personal. You know what I mean? He'll accept it. But if you're going around, doing what Ness done with a wild, biased agenda, you're going to get eaten up. And once that happens, he's not going to speak to you again. A lot of the promoters won't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
But Coogan, sorry, BDA, go on, bro.
I was just going to say that Eddie Hearn does seem to be he seems to be branching out and doing different things that most promoters don't do. Like he's very accessible. If somebody wants an interview with him, he gives it on the spot. He's hanging around with the guy from IFL TV in his car, and now he wants to branch out and promote non-British fighters. I mean, this guy's really thinking outside the box, if you will, and to piss him off, somebody that's so accessible with biased questions like Cameron and Stu, like you guys are saying, down the line, burning bridges, not exactly the best move out there.
I think he already has a few, man.
Yeah, I think.
There was a show. I mean, he's done really well. I mean, he did a show. The Boxing Boys done a show not long ago because people were tweeting about it. They had Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Eddie Hearn on the show at the same time. I mean, that takes some doing. You know what I'm saying? So he's done some good things. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going. First of all, I gotta tell you that I've never listened to the show because I'm not a big YouTube guy. I only got into this YouTube community a year ago. Butch is the one that's really been longer. So I really don't know how good the show is or how good it used to be. But just based on what happened with Eddie Hearn, the video that Bucho sent us. And by the way, Bucho, we got to clarify. What's the other video? Have you found out which other video you were talking about where the guy's almost crying?
Yeah, it's Fight Hub.
Oh, Fight Hub.
Fight Hub.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched that you sent me. The thing is, it seemed like them guys, I mean, I don't think a lot of Americans, I think the smart Americans do. The smart Americans get it, but I don't think a lot of the, let's just say not so smart Americans get Eddie Hearn's wit and his humour and his sarcasm, and they just don't get it. They don't understand. And I don't think they're smart enough to be dealing with him, to be honest with you. I think he's just levels above when it comes to intellect, and I think this is where the problem is.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, these promoters, we know they're a bunch of snakes. Some of them are better than, some of them are a little nicer than others, or with their fighters.
But in this situation, it wasn't something that was lost in translation or something like that, It wasn't a misunderstanding. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Exactly.
I mean, you're not gonna say yes to a $50 million offer. It's that simple. Anybody from all over the world, anybody can understand this. You're not gonna accept a fucking deal like that.
It's like if you're in for trial for murder, and you've got clear evidence, right? And you've got this evidence, say CCTV footage and proof that you were somewhere else, and you give the police this footage, and they turn around and say to you, "Nah, I still believe it was you. I still believe it was you." It's like it just doesn't connect. Even the best evidence you can show them, it's still not getting into their brains, and it's frustrating and it's embarrassing at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the Twilight Zone, man. It's like a bizarre world. It's like they're in another reality. These people, I don't understand.
Yeah, and
I think that what is Deontay says something and they believe it.
Yeah,
no matter what it is.
And it's a shame, man.
Like, you know what? People from who are part of a cult. Like, there's no way you're gonna bring him back. It's like.
Well, it's interesting that the fucking like Cameron was saying, we're burning the bridges. this fight is probably going to happen. Let's say it doesn't. Whatever. There's going to be other fights, and you're still going to need Eddie Hearn to give you interviews. And after the fight is done, like I said, whether it happens or doesn't happen, he's still going to remember how hard you as a reporter shilled for somebody you don't even know personally or you're not friends with. And don't think for 1 second that he's not going to shit.
And don't forget as well, bro, apparently he's going to be signing quite a few names at the end of the week. He's got a big announcement next week to make. He said there's a few fighters coming on board. So I'm interested to see if he's got some decent names coming in. You do not want to be upsetting the guy because you need to interview these guys. That's how you make a living.
I see him taking, not going to lie, man. I see him really making a big mark in the US and, you know, signing a lot of these top fighters, man. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you know, the thing is, the one thing that Ness and these other reporters need to understand is Wilder could very well end up signing with Hearn at some point. Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
It's interesting because now there's the rumor that we talked about Keith Thurman trying to jump ship from the PBC. If he jumps ship, don't think for 1 second that there's not other guys out there in the PBC that are dissatisfied with their schedule and with the money that they've been receiving. And especially, listen, that's how you earn your bread as a professional fighter. And if they're not fighting, they're not earning. So they're probably going to look to branch out. So if the PBC ends up falling under or whatever, that's going to create a vacuum because top-ranking Golden Boy promotions, they're not going to sign everybody that's out there. And if Eddie Hearn can scoop in a couple of big names from the PBC, he's got himself a foothold in North America. And the guy's pretty smart, man. The guy's, I mean, listen, he's a promoter. Like I said, most promoters, all of them are snakes. That doesn't mean they're stupid. And Eddie Hearn so far has proven that he overtook Frank Warren in the UK, for Pete's sakes. Like, I didn't know how that happened. You know, Frank Warren's no dummy either. The fact that Eddie Hearn came in and
Warren went downhill before Hearn came into boxing. Years before that.
All right, but he still took over, right?
Because he was selling this.
Hearn just kind of filled the void.
Ah, okay.
He was selling. Frank Warren was selling us pure garbage. I mean, it just wouldn't be accepted these days. It was awful. Sky got rid of him. Ricky Hatton was another one, putting on garbage cards. Everyone stopped watching boxing. And then when David Haye fought, I think it might have been the Klitschko fight. Which was the fight, Cameron, that everyone, Sky got rid of box office because of a David Haye?
I think he dropped off.
Cameron gone? Sorry. Yeah, David Haye had one fight. It might have been Klitschko because of his performance. Everyone, was not very happy, and I think Sky pulled out of Sky box office, so the boxing went on a real low in Britain.
Are you talking about the guy that beat Tyson? What was his name? Danny Williams? Is that what you're talking about?
No, David Haye fought. It might have been the Audley Harrison. Actually, it might have been Harrison.
Yeah, that fight was pay-per-view.
It was so bad. Yeah, it was so bad. Sky had so many complaints that they stopped doing. They stopped doing Sky box office for a while. They got rid of Frank Warren and Hatton. No promoters had any dates. Just Barry Hearn, and the only reason Barry Hearn had dates was because he did the darts. So boxing was really low at one time, and then Eddie Hearn came through. Eddie Hearn's first fighter was Audley Harrison. Believe it or not, that was his first fight promoted against David Haye.
What a shit show that was. I do remember reading about that. Yeah, I remember reading about it, how people were disgusted with the fact that was pay-per-view. And they hyped it up over there too, huh?
Oh, mate. I told you last week, people actually thought Harrison was going to do a job. Harrison he's like, he's got mind control over the British public. It's like he says something and everyone just goes into fucking zombie mode and takes everything in he says. It's a bit like the Wilder fans. Whatever he says, they believe. And the British public's a bit like that. They believe his bollocks because he is a good talker and he's always confident before a fight. I'll give him that. And then people start to believe in him. But then after about 5-6 minutes into the fight, you see the real Audley Harrison when he's sleeping, isn't it?
How did he win a gold medal, by the way?
Probably the worst division ever to grace an Olympic Games. That could be one of the reasons.
Yeah, I've never seen
was a
his Olympic
terrible-
fights.
Yeah, it was a terrible division at the time, man.
Jeez, I mean, that's absolutely disgusting. So, Bucho, what else do you want to say about this? I mean, you've been following it closer, right?
Yeah, that's enough.
That's enough.
Nothing else to say. I think these people are just too emotional.
Well, like
I said, I really enjoyed the interview. I don't like to be harsh with Nesta, but if he reads the comments, he'll know it's not just me saying this. It was a car crash interview that didn't do his business any good whatsoever. And if he does ever listen to BDA and listens to this video, I advise him not to do that again.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm pretty
but
sure.
But it wasn't only Ness. There was the other interviewer as well. I mean, so
yeah, but that guy, who was that guy? That guy was. Who was that man? Cameraman Colin, that guy. Who the fuck was he, man? No one give a shit who he was. He could barely string a sentence together. So he's not good. Well, he could good. He's fucking. It sounded like Debo from the Friday, man. What the fuck?
I mean, it's like I was saying to Butcher. I've never seen this type of behavior. I mean, I've seen fans. I've seen the Pacquiao fans and the Mayweather fans and the Deloy and Trinidad fans back in the day. The Roy Jones fans against Hopkins. Well, not so much them, but you get what I'm saying. This is a whole other level. Louis Vapenda, just subscribe. Shout out to Louis. But yeah, like I was saying, I've never seen this type of behavior from anybody. All right, why is that? That was a second. Like it was like
from the other.
This is taking me back to my rave days, but.
Yeah, in the football. What were in the rice fields, or what were you?
Rice fields.
No, I don't know. You said something about fields the other day.
Well, there are no fucking rice fields around here, man. Where do you think we are? Fucking China or something?
Oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had that Vietnamese soundbite that I always play. Anyway, but yeah, listen. You said what happens if this Nestor is listening. First of all, if he is listening, which I doubt he is, but let's say hypothetically it gets to him that we're talking about him. I'm pretty sure he's the type of guy who's gonna be pretty happy that people are talking about it. You know, that's what people in his mind. It's good publicity. Any publicity is good publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. In other words, so
yeah,
pretty sure he doesn't care. Well, I hope he doesn't care. And by the way, listen, if you fuck up,
let's be real. I mean, his ego is up there, that's for sure. But you know, he's a nice guy. He is a nice guy. He's. I don't think he's as stupid as you come across in that interview. It's just
you get emotional.
I just don't know what to say, man. Like I said, let's move on, man. Because like I said, we'll just have to see how it works out for him.
Yeah. Okay. Afshin Vatanka just subscribe. Shout out to Afshin. Yeah, you're right. Let's move on because I mean we don't even know.
We're gonna get a lot of Armenians here.
Why is that?
Because we have Golovkin against Martirosyan.
Oh, right. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to talk about some of the things I don't think we're gonna get to before the Golovkin fight. As we near the Golovkin fight, Ryan, I want to talk about this. I really want to talk about this. Ryan Garcia, 14-0 with 23. Did I hear somebody say, "Oh my God"?
Yeah, me.
All right. Well, I want to get your thoughts, but first, let me just set up the subject. Ryan Garcia, 14-0, 23. What am I? No. Wait a minute. 14-0 with how many knockouts? 12 knockouts, something like that. He's a pretty. He's got 13. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
He's got a good KO ratio. He's 19. He's with Golden Boy Promotions. He's headlining now the card on Friday on the eve of Golovkin-Martirosyan. So he's getting some good exposure. Unfortunately, as we were alluding to in the last subject, not all publicity is good publicity. He's 19 and he's already rubbing people the wrong way. This is a guy who's the quintessential millennial fighter. He's a new brand of millennial fighter. He's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, Twitter, all the social media platforms. He's talking loud, he's brash.
Hey, going by the way he dresses, then we are really fucked then, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? If he's the future of boxing, then I'm going to get into another sport. Do you know what I mean?
No, man. If you follow his Twitter, because I'm on Twitter, his fucking Twitter, man. He posts videos of him. There's a video of him he posted up the other day of him dancing to I can't remember what song it was, but he does bring in the hose. You know what I mean? He does bring in the hose. He gets a lot of female attention. But what I'm saying is, he also gets a lot of male attention. There's plenty of males saying, "I want you to box me in bed. I want you to fuck me so hard." All these fucking blokes saying they want him in his fucking bed.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
That's, you know, a lot of people on Twitter. You know, I mean, a lot of people.
I think just for that, we should stick him in with fucking Anthony Joshua, shouldn't we? I mean, just for that.
Well, it's interesting.
Tank Davis, man. I say put him in with Tank Davis because Tank Davis will fucking blow him out of it.
Well, he says he's ready
like I
for
said,
Tank Davis.
He's a young kid. He obviously doesn't know his sexuality yet. I mean, he's the sort of guy that walks when he goes to the toilet. He uses the transgender room, doesn't he? So you know, he needs to work out his sexuality before he works out how to be a world champion. But he's a young guy, man. He's a young guy.
I know. The thing is, man. I mean, he may be 19, may not know sexuality, but I knew I liked girls from a very young age. Like, probably like, you know, a very young.
Yeah, but these days they're all confused. You know, I don't know. The water, so they're putting something in the water.
I tell you what, though, he's obviously a tough little boy, isn't he? I mean, he's gonna knock a few people out. They call him faggot on the street, isn't he? Let's be real. He's a good, he's a good little fighter. He's a good little fighter. It's just not the sort of guy I want to be getting behind. You know, I'm a bit old school.
Did you say you want to get behind him?
Someone screen share his Twitter and get that video he put up the other day of him dancing. Someone screen share that. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to really put that up. I saw that video and I gotta tell you. Okay, I'll do this, man. I'll do this. I'll put up because I'm reading the comments on his Twitter page. And look, just take a look at this. Somebody put on his comments Kermit the Frog spreading its bunghole open, as if to say that's what I want from you, Ryan. And
yeah, man. There's all blokes as well, man. You got these blokes saying, "I want you to come fuck me and box me in bed." Like the fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
What boxing come to, man?
And then I'm looking at the comments here.
God.
I'm looking at the comments. There's a lot of rainbows.
They weren't saying that about Tyson, were they?
Well, there might have been somebody. Somebody says that it looks like Buffalo Bill. Somebody's saying that he looks like Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, somebody should do a video of that. Just play "Goodbye Horses" instead of the Michael Jackson music he's got up. But yeah, there's a lot of rainbow flags on his Twitter comments.
Is this
if you know what I mean.
He said it though. Is this a new generation of boxers?
You know what, man? If he can actually fight, in all seriousness, man, if he can actually fight and he fights to a high level, he's going to be bringing in a lot of attention, man. He's going to have a massive fan base. He's going to be a big star if he actually can fight.
Well, that's a good point.
What type of fans are we talking about here?
We don't need transgender in combat sports. We've got Cyborg Sanchez, haven't we?
Well, speak for yourself.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at here is that exactly that.
The thing is, though, like I said, my problem with that is that when it's men changing and then going in the cage and bashing up on women, then I've got a big problem with that.
Yeah, that's the big one right there. That MMA guy that was beating up on a bunch of women. But just going real quick back to Ryan Garcia. It's interesting because a lot of when was it? You know, we like to joke around here about Orlando Cruz and how nobody cares that he's gay. Just fight. Stop mentioning the fact that you're a homosexual. But then again, I'm reading a lot of comments about Ryan Garcia and every article and all that, and a lot of people are asking, you know, is he gay? Is he gay? He looks gay. And I'm thinking, deep down inside, there are a lot of people out there that care about a guy's sexuality and whether they root for him or not. So it is still maybe I was being a little naive by thinking that nobody cares about a fighter's sexuality, but evidently, based on what I'm reading in the comments and all that, there's a lot of people that do care.
There's nothing.
I mean, asking Ryan Garcia. I mean, people think asking if Ryan Garcia is gay is a bit like when George Michael was around with Wham, and everyone was asking if he was gay. I mean, it's fucking obvious, isn't it? You know,
right? Yeah.
You know, it's just obvious. It doesn't matter. Don't get me wrong. It don't matter to me, but it's obvious that he is. I mean, no straight man behaves like he does. I don't know one.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, listen, I'll make jokes about it because I make jokes about anybody, but I don't care. Like at the end of the day, there's a lot of people there trying to figure out as if it was a Fibonacci sequence. Nobody cares if he's gay. Like Cameron said, if he's a good fighter and he brings in the ladies and maybe a couple of lady guys or whatever, then it's good for boxing at the end of the day. Right? Or am I wrong? I don't know. You guys tell me. All right. I guess that means. But by the way, let's stick to boxing a little bit here because he's going to be taking on Jason Velez. All right. Jason Velez, who went through a 4-fight losing streak, but now he's back on a 3-fight winning streak. And that includes a win over the undefeated Alberto Mercado and the veteran Juan Manuel Lopez. So I gotta wonder. I mean, I've been watching Ryan Garcia's fights. He's 19. He still looks like he hasn't grown fully into his men's strength. Jason Velez, he's a grown man, you know, in his 20s. He's fought a lot of good guys. He's lost against some of them, but he's still got more experience. Is this too much too soon for Garcia?
No, man. Perfect step up, man.
You think
the guy's been fighting 14 nobodies. You know, he can obviously, you know, let's be honest, we take the piss, but he can fight. You know, he's exciting to watch. The problem is, man, is defensively he's very flawed. But offensively, you know, he's young, you know, he wants to look the part. But, you know, defensively he's very flawed still. So for me, you know, Jason Velez would be a good test for him. You know, experience, being in there, veteran. You know, he's probably not going to offer too much. But you never know, man. You see some of these prospects, they step up and they get found out. You know, this could be a good fight for him. I think Velez will bring something he hasn't seen before. Stylistically, probably bring a few rounds. I think it's a perfect step up. At the end of the day, I mean, Ryan Garcia, he may be 19, but it doesn't matter if your age. If you can fight, and you know, don't start, you know, you need to start fighting. You don't need to fight 20, 30 journeymen. I'm going to say journeymen. I'm not going to say, you know, bums. I know Stu likes saying that word. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's a good step up.
Yep, I mean, you got to move these fighters along in this day and age. I mean, the days of Ricky Hatton being 37-0 before he fought anyone, they're well over. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You've got to move these kids along because we get bored of them otherwise. You just, I mean, how Deontay Wilder has got away with what he's done has amazed me. Because anyone else, imagine if that was a British fighter with that sort of record, the stick he would have got. But you know, we ain't got time for these guys that are fighting these bums one week after another. We want to see these kids step up. And if you're good enough, if you had 14 fights in the pro game, you've obviously established yourself as a pro. And it's time to step up. And he'll probably learn more in this one fight than he did in the 14 before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because he's got hand speed, he's got power. But as always, the power, it's dependent upon who you're fighting. So he's knocking out guys that don't have good records. What's that?
I reckon I know what fight they'll make after this. If he looks good and beats Velez comfortably, they'll put him in with Gamboa next, 100%. Because Gamboa is washed up. You know, he's not as good as he used to be. You know, he's certainly not as fast. You know, he's been on a few ends of few losses over the last few years. I feel like Gamboa. I think, you know, and he signed with Golden Boy. I think he's still signed with Golden Boy. They might have let him go. I know that the Garcia wanted Gamboa at the end of last year or the start of this year. So, you know, maybe they put him in Gamboa next. I think that'd be a good fight. Maybe a step too far at this point because he's only 19.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if he beats Velez, say if he goes in and blows Velez out, no problem, doesn't lose a round, then I think, you know, you have to move him up again. And to me, it would be someone like Gamboa, who's kind of a name, but, you know, doesn't have much to offer at this point. I mean, I know he fought against, you know, Sosa, and, you know, he kind of, you know, won that fight realistically, but, you know, he's kind of washed up now, so why not?
Yeah, like you guys are saying, this fight is going to show us a lot about Ryan Garcia, whether he can hang in there. Because again, what's his name? Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz was able to take Velez to school. And then Velez, his last loss was against a guy that really was just awful. I mean, I didn't see the fight, but the record shows that he shouldn't have been losing to a guy like that. So, but now again, Velez is back with 3 solid wins. We don't know how good he is still, and we definitely don't know how good Ryan Garcia is. But like you guys are saying, we're gonna get a taste of that. But the thing about Ryan Garcia again is, and by the way, people are saying, well, listen, right in the comment section, people are saying Ryan Garcia is with Golden Boys, so that should tell you a thing or two about his sexuality. I don't, you know, does he have the potential to be a big star?
Yeah, if he can fight. I mean, look what he's bringing in already. Look at the people he's bringing in already, man. He's bringing a lot of female attention. He's bringing a lot of sort of homosexuals in as well. So, you know, why not? You know, if he can fight, he'll be a star. If he can fight, he can be a world champion, and he's elite. Then yeah, he will be, because he's got the personality, he's got the looks of a star. A lot, especially for a woman, a lot of these women, especially these Mexican women, they love a baby face. You know what I mean? Canelo, when he was coming through the ranks, he had a lot of female attention. He still does now. So no, Ryan Garcia will be the same. If he can fight, I think he'll be a big star, man. But can he fight? I mean, a bit apprehensive about that yet.
Yeah, I think we're gonna find out on Friday. I should say on Friday we're gonna find out, because Jason Velez, if he comes in determined and he can, like somebody said in the chat room, I forget who it was, because we already lost the comment. Oh no, yeah, it's Mr. Cox. He says Garcia is all speed but not much power. The way he punches, I suspect his power isn't gonna be all that great once he steps up in opposition, but definitely in terms of explosiveness and speed, yeah, he's got it right there. And that's the other thing. I mean, this guy is being very brash. He's already calling out Tank Davis. And again, I don't think Tank Davis is that much of a proven commodity. But compared to Ryan Garcia, this guy's fucking Sugar Ray Robinson, man. I mean, don't step in there against Gervonta Davis. It could be a bad night for Garcia.
Gervonta Davis would fucking mutilate Garcia, man.
I agree, man.
He's starting to promote himself,
it'd be destruction. I mean, Garcia don't want any part of Tank Davis, man.
I think Garcia's just starting to promote himself. He's been saying a lot recently, hasn't he, about Golovkin and Davis and things like that. He's just kind of getting himself in the picture, and now he's kind of building himself up. He's fighting Velez, this big step up by his headline, and now he's kind of putting himself in the headlines for saying things as well. So I think he's kind of promoting himself. He doesn't really, he knows he's not going to fight Tank Davis right now. I think he's just kind of, if he talks about these fighters, he's going to get in the headlines, isn't he? So it's kind of good promoting, good self-promoting.
Yeah, but sometimes you can talk yourself into a fight that you don't want. It's happened many a times, and before you know it, you're getting your ass whooped.
Exactly. And these 19-year-olds, most of the time they're just punching for punching's sakes. They're not setting up anything. There's no nuance to it. There's nothing. They're not really setting up the shot as much as they're just trying to throw something to land something. And at 19, that could... Listen, the guy, he's finally stepping up now against Jason Velez. Let's see how he looks. But like Stu was saying, we put him in there against Tank Davis. Tank Davis has already proven that, at least against Pedraza, and yeah, I guess the former featherweight, but nevertheless, he took out that featherweight out in 2 rounds. So stay away from Tank Davis. But then again, like Cameron is saying, maybe it's all just talk to get his name out there. That's part of the promotional aspect nowadays of just talking so that people notice you. Like we were saying, no publicity. All publicity is good.
Do you mean like Deontay Wilder?
That's the thing. I mean, the Charlos, Deontay Wilder, Adrian Broner, they overdo it a little bit with their antics outside of the ring, and yet, but you look at Broner, he did 800-something thousand views on Saturday. Well, not last Saturday.
The thing with Broner, you can make yourself look like an idiot by talking and not being able to back up. But if it wasn't for Broner, if he wasn't trash talking, if it wasn't for his personality, he wouldn't have had the second, third, fourth, fifth chances he's had. So it's kind of benefited him. I mean, even though he gets beat around the ring a few times by likes of Adana, Porter, and everything like that, and Garcia, he's been given other chances, for vacant titles because of his personality, because of the way he self-promoted himself. So. It does work out for several fighters, but you've got to have that it factor. I mean, Broner has that it factor, marketability, but in terms of fighting, he didn't have it.
Right.
Sorry,
yeah.
No, so I was agreeing.
Yeah, man, you gotta have.
I was agreeing, bro. Yeah.
You gotta have that.
Broner also has a lot of people that tune in to see him get knocked out. That always helps.
Yeah. Hasn't happened yet, though.
Well, no, but I mean,
you'll be surprised how many more. You'll have more people tune in to see you get knocked out than to see you win half the time. Trust me, especially if you've got that sort of character. So it doesn't matter how if they're tuning in, it doesn't matter, does it? To you, they're tuning in, but that's the case with Broner. I think a lot of people like him. I don't see what there's to like about him, but a lot of people do like him. But there's a lot of people that just tune in, see him get knocked out, like me. But I can also call it I can also keep it down the middle. I think he beat Jesse Vargas the other night.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, we were talking about that night about how he was beating Vargas. But the other thing about Broner is people, like you said, people want to see him to get knocked out. But some people, even the positive people, his fans, they say, well, at least he's entertaining. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, he's not really that entertaining. He overdoes it sometimes. He's trying too hard to be controversial or funny. And it just, I think it misses the mark. Like when he was trying to make fun of Jim Gray's suit. I said, that's not funny. Or when he's playing music.
You can't force comedy, bro. You've either got it, you just can't force comedy. You can't teach someone to be funny. You just can't. You've either got the wit or you haven't. Exactly. And unfortunately for him, it's like a childish. What me and you used to find funny when we were in kindergarten, he finds funny now.
First of all, did he go to kindergarten? No, I'm kidding. But look, listen, the point is this, man. The point is this. Adrian Broner, at least, hey, we can complain all we want about it. His situation is a little different because at the end of the day, this is what I expect from Broner. I think he's going to keep making a fool of himself. People are going to continue watching. And then when he retires, he might slow down a bit, give the shtick a rest. And people are going to be fans of, like, every time they see him at the International Boxing Hall of Fame or whatever, they're going to ask for his autograph and everything. So in this case, I don't know if the talking, all the trash talking or antics outside of the ring are really the worst thing in the world for him. But if he really is out of control, and again, we've seen him being arrested multiple times, then things could end up badly for him. Doesn't he have about 17 kids or something as well with different women?
Yeah. He has a lot.
That's where most of his purses go.
Exactly.
Child maintenance.
Man, so it wouldn't surprise me to keep seeing him fight until he's in his 40s, man. If he really does need the money that bad.
Let's be real. I mean, when you're Adrian Broner is still getting good money for a guy that's a bit of a gatekeeper at the moment. I mean, we can call him that, can't we? I don't know what gatekeeper in about 3 different divisions, but he makes a hell of a lot of money. So what else is he going to do? So I got a feeling we're going to see this guy hanging around for a while until he becomes unwatchable.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of that, yeah, go ahead, Cameron.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree with what Stu said. I think he's a high, he's a bit like Nito Donaire at this point. They're both high-profile gatekeepers. They're going to be recycled for up-and-coming fighters. Broner's going to be that type of guy. So eventually, maybe after a few more losses, he'll be recycled by Heyman or whoever he's with, and be fed to guys. He's a high-profile name. He'll be fed to prospects and things like that. At a certain, before they reach a world title, he's going to be that guy like that. It's going to be like that guy you have to beat to get to a world title. So, and he's going to get paid well for it. So, because of his personality, the way he markets himself, and his sort of recognition, he'd always get big fights. Yeah,
and that's the thing. You gotta wonder who they're gonna cash him out against, because we were thinking or theorizing before the Vargas-Broner fight that they were trying to cash Broner out against Vargas, and instead it was Broner who looked better than Vargas did in that fight. Like, a lot of us thought that he should have won the fight. But I still maintain, man, I still want to see Spence against Broner. That's a fight that I want to see. But by the way,
Spence is just too big for him. Too big, man. Broner can't even hold it together with these naturally 147 guys. I mean, let's be real. Jesse Vargas is really a natural 140 fighter. He's not really a big 147 fighter. Never has been. And Broner can handle them sort of guys. But when he's dealing with guys that are shrinking down from 170 pounds, he's got no chance. He got bullied by. He got bullied by a Sean Porter. Sean Porter's a strong little lion. Don't get me wrong, but the guy's a small guy, and he bullied Broner all over the place. Can you imagine what Spence would do to him?
Yeah, I think that'll be the first knockout of Broner's career if he fought Spence.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. I mean, Broner, he's tough and he's durable, but Errol Spence, man, he's really showing us. He's showing us that he's on another fucking level when it comes to power, or at least the ability to deliver that power and break guys down. Also, there's a talk now of Sean Porter taking on Danny Garcia. The trash talking has commenced between Angel Garcia, Kenny Porter, Sean Porter. Danny, as always, Danny Garcia, he's staying quiet and letting his father do all the talking. Is this a fight that you guys would be looking forward to?
Yeah, man, 100%. Man, that's a great fight.
What's that? Didn't hear it. Sorry, bro.
The Garcia
What
versus
fight?
Porter fight. Garcia versus Porter.
Yeah, why not? I definitely watch that. It's a decent fight.
Do you don't think?
50 fight, man.
Was that?
I think it's close to a 50-50 fight in all seriousness.
I think Sean Porter will win that.
Now, are you guys saying, like, okay, Cameron, are you saying it's a 50-50 fight because both guys aren't really that good, or because they are that good?
Yeah, I mean, I know that Danny Garcia. I mean, I was one for when Garcia, he lost to Herrera and he went on that run of fighting like Sissoko and Alex Nagy, and I already slated the guy. But I always rated Garcia as a fighter. He was just fighting trash for a few years. I feel like Garcia would actually, he has a good chance of beating Porter. But also I think Porter has a good chance of beating Garcia. I mean, if you told me to put my last pound on it, I'd pick Porter to win. But I wouldn't be confident. That's what I'm saying.
I'm picking Sean Porter to win that fight. I just think his style might be all wrong for Danny. Danny doesn't throw his hands a lot. He's a counter puncher. He basically always looking for the counter punch. But Sean Porter rushes in and flies in, and he's hard to counter. I mean, he comes in low, and once he rushes in, he's hard to counter, man. And the work on the inside, and when Danny's getting pushed back, we see it when Lamont Peterson started to push him back. He's clueless. Let's be real. I don't think Garcia's as good as people make about it. Don't get me wrong, he's a world-class fighter. But when he's getting pushed back, we've seen it time and time again. Zab Judah started to do it. And he starts to get beat up. I think it's when he's fighting at his pace, counter-punching, slow fucking donkeys like Solka, he looks good. But I think when someone's like Sean Porter's in front of him, I think a horrible mismatch. Not horrible mismatch, sorry, a horrible matchup for him.
Style matchup, yeah. I think that's why I think Garcia looked pretty good against Furman, because Furman's obviously he fights on the back foot a lot now. He doesn't really pressure like he used to. I feel like if there was going to be one. I think Furman is a much easier, even though he lost the fight. I think Furman's a much an easier fight for Garcia than Porter is. So yeah, I see Porter. I mean, Furman won that fight. Yeah, I think Porter in that fight as well.
And Sean Porter can hold a shot. He can hold a shot. And Danny's. We keep hearing about this monster puncher that Danny Garcia is, but he's not. I mean, he's not really. He's a good puncher, but he's not a devastating puncher. I mean, just because you knock Amir Khan clean out, that doesn't make you a devastating puncher.
That's his biggest record. That's his most recognised knockout, Amir Khan.
Well, of course, exactly.
And anybody.
Look, let's be real. Look how Peterson came back in that fight and started walking Garcia down and beating him up. Right? Look what Spence did to Peterson. So, you know what I mean? Danny is. Yeah, I did. But that's it for me. Danny was his best at 140. I think once he moved up to 147, he was never going to be one of the top guys for me. He was just handed that belt, weren't he? Let's be real.
He's a top 5 welterweight.
Yeah, he's top 5, but just.
Yeah, top 3 is Spence, Furman, and Porter. I mean, Garcia floats around after that somewhere for me.
Manny Pacquiao's up there for me still.
Yeah, Pacquiao's up there. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can name 4 or 5 guys maybe that are better than Garcia at 147.
Yeah, that Lamont Peterson fight was really disconcerting from Danny Garcia because, like Stu said, he was really getting beat up in those last 2 rounds, and that was after a fight in which Peterson hadn't really done much to pressure Garcia. So you can just imagine what Spence would do. Porter, on the other hand, I don't think he's as big a puncher as Spence, but he will maul you. He does have tricky footwork, interesting rhythm that throws you off guard or off rhythm. And I don't know, man. And like you guys are saying, Danny Garcia, he can pack a punch. He can take out certain guys, but I don't know if he can catch Sean Porter coming in. I mean, in the beginning, I thought that when the fight was being talked about, but now I would have to lean towards Sean Porter. And like Stu said, Garcia doesn't even let his hands go all that much for a young fighter.
No, he doesn't. Very inactive, very lazy fighter, Garcia.
And of course,
there's a reason for that.
Which is?
I don't know, man. I just feel like he's. I mean, he's proven he can take a shot. You know, he took shots off Matisse, man. You know what I'm saying? Prime Matisse, but I don't know, man. I think they're pretty tentative because defensively Garcia is flawed. So for him to be more active defensively, I think there's big dangers with that, and that's why he fights like he does.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I'm picking. I don't think Sean Porter knocks Danny Garcia out. I think Danny Garcia's, like you said, has got a very, very good chin. Sean Porter's not a massive puncher himself, but Sean Porter does what he does, snatches hearts, just makes it ugly, and I think that's what he'll do again.
Changing the subject a bit here in the chat, they're mentioning Jeff Horn against Danny Garcia.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Yeah, it's a good fight, man.
Jeff Horn's a strong guy, man. He's a very. That's the fight that I'm looking forward to. One of the fights that I'm looking forward to the most. Crawford against Horn.
You know what, man? The more I think about that fight, the more I think it's more of a competitive fight. You know.
I think Horn can hurt Crawford. I just hope Crawford don't go stink the joint out like he did against Postel. That sort of performance.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, if he, I hope he comes to fight because that'll make it interesting. But
yeah, you know what? I think Josh Taylor's going to do the Postel what Crawford should have done at Postel. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I think Josh Taylor's going to do a real job on Postel.
Yeah, I'm picking. You know my opinions on Postel. I don't have to repeat it, but I'm picking. That's why I'm picking. I'm picking the same as you, bro. I think Josh Taylor is the future for that division. I really do. I don't think he's good enough for Mikey yet, or say, I don't know. I think he might be ready for the rest of them though. I just think Mikey's just a bit too. Huh?
The division's wide open.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. When you look at the rest, I'll give him a good chance against any of them. Mikey's just a bit too experienced for him at the moment.
Off topic, BDA, just quickly, it came up on my Twitter earlier on, but it looks like Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter is going to be happening in the summer. Negotiating that fight.
In August, right?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting fight.
Great fight. This is the guy. Go ahead.
Go on, Butcho, go on.
Easter Jr. was a guy that some were claiming that he could beat Lomachenko.
No. Robert Wheat is the weakest champion of the division, man.
Sorry, what?
I mean, whoever said that, man, needs to kind of reevaluate what they're watching.
But they were saying this, or he was gonna cause problems. Also, they were saying Lomachenko is avoiding this guy, Easter Jr. They were saying this.
Who's saying that, man? Who's saying this?
You know who's saying it. I don't need to say it.
Okay, well, no comment, man. But yeah, I mean, look, that's not happening, man. I mean, Robert East is the weakest lightweight champion out there. I mean, the guy's massive. He's something like 6 foot or something like that, 5'11", and the guy, if he actually knew how to use his range, use his jab, and maneuver, and use his size advantage as well, he'd be a real problem. But he can't. He can't. He's gonna get exposed.
Well, he didn't look good in his last fight.
Oh yeah, but he struggles with a small guy like Shavkat. Michael Garcia knocks him out. That's what I think. That's a good point, though, man. Mikey Garcia should be fighting at lightweight. I mean, I was very critical of Mikey Garcia, saying, this guy doesn't know what he wants. He should stay at lightweight and unify. And if he's doing that now, then he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, he should stay at lightweight. I mean, at lightweight. He definitely should stay at lightweight. When the thing about Robert Easter Jr. and Mikey Garcia is, Easter Jr. has struggled a lot in a lot of his fights, but I don't know if Mikey Garcia has ever fought somebody as tall as. I mean, I know what was his name, Victor Burgos. I think it was Victor Burgos. Was able to go 12 rounds against him, and Garcia didn't look all that great against him because Burgos went a little bit on the defensive. But Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter Jr., man, that's a good fight, and I wonder depending on how he looks against Robert Easter Jr. I think it's going to tell us a lot about Garcia against Lomachenko, because we've had people here before who think, and most people out there too believe, that Lomachenko-Garcia is a mismatch for Lomachenko. Lomachenko just outboxes him.
I mean, yeah, I heavily favour Lomachenko in that fight as well. I mean, there's anybody that's going to beat Garcia, it's Lomachenko. I mean, look, that's the next super fight for me. I mean, you've got Crawford Spence, obviously, and then you've got, for me, it's Lomachenko-Garcia. I mean, if Garcia beats Easter, and Lomachenko beats Linares, and I think they both will win. That unification, 3-belt unification with the ring title is a huge fight. Huge fight.
But that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are saying Lomachenko beats Garcia easy, which begs the question: who doesn't he beat easy? I mean, we're getting into Roy Jones type levels here, where people were like back in the day, people were saying Roy Jones, nobody can beat him. Then all of a sudden he takes on Antonio Tarver and almost ends up losing the first fight. So I mean, is there a guy out there who could Garcia be Lomachenko's Antonio Tarver? Realistically.
I don't know, man. I don't think I think it's Lomachenko's toughest fight. I just feel like he's just a special fighter, man. I don't feel like he's gonna get tested at lightweight. I don't know, man. I mean, look, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty confident that Lomachenko does a real job on Garcia. I mean, Garcia's a very good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but there's very good fighters and there's great fighters. And I think Garcia is a great fighter. I feel like Lomachenko is just a one of a kind fighter.
Well, I mean, Lomachenko definitely has shown things that nobody else is doing. Mikey Garcia, on the other hand, I understand why people would be picking him. I mean, not picking him against Lomachenko, especially since he didn't look all that hot against Lipinets in his last fight. Then again,
sorry to cut you off, yeah, but look, Garcia is a much bigger guy than Lomachenko. It's not going to be wrong. So Garcia's got the power to be a bigger man in the ring. I mean, Lomachenko walks around about 138, I think, 139. And Garcia cuts weight. Garcia's walking around, I think, the 160s sometimes. So Garcia's got the power to be the bigger man. All it takes is one shot, so you never know. We've never seen Lomachenko take a shot of a big puncher. So who knows, man?
That's true. That's true. And
for the Lomachenko detractors, I wonder who they think Lomachenko should fight. So, to prove that he's this great fighter. Because they don't seem to be convinced.
A lot of them say Crawford, which is beyond the joke because Crawford can't make 140.
147. And he's not going to go down to 140 anymore, I think.
No, he can't make the weight. I mean, you saw, what was his last fight, 147? It was in Dongo. You see him in the weight, man. Yeah. He was dry. Real dry.
So who do they want Lomachenko to fight? I'm just trying to...
it's Crawford, isn't it? That's people think that Crawford's the only one that can face him. That speaks volumes out if they think Lomachenko.
Exactly. That says a lot about him. So when they say he hasn't proven himself, it's like, what are they talking about?
The Lomachenko detractors, this is what confused me about them. They like to say, Lomachenko is nothing. He needs to fight someone like Terence Crawford. You're basically, admitting that this guy runs through all the other divisions. So how can you say that he's not that good, but you're basically saying he beats everybody? I mean, it makes no sense at all, man. Contradict himself a lot.
That's a good
so basically,
point,
Lomachenko, if he cleans out the lightweight division, let's say, they still wouldn't be satisfied because they're like, well, no, that's not the fight we want. We want him to fight a welterweight.
Yeah, man, when we fight him, it doesn't. It's gonna be the same as a lot of the fighters. Lomachenko's one of those fighters that it doesn't matter who he beats. There'll always be somebody else after that they want to see him fight. They won't give him the credit.
Like you said, he's already doing something good. The fact that he's put on this pedestal.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people think he's pound for pound number one, don't they? So I mean, a lot of these people don't like that. But it's not a bullshit, man. Lomachenko's legit, and anybody who's a real boxing fan straight down the middle knows that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like you guys are saying, the mere fact that people are saying that he has to go on and take on Crawford, the welterweight, and then again, we all know the excuse or the rationale, which is that since Rigondeaux fought Lomachenko, then Lomachenko has to do the same thing against Crawford, which makes no sense because why? Lomachenko is not in the desperate situation yet in which Rigondeaux found himself in. And I mean, I think at this point, people.
They haven't got the brains to figure this out. For Lomachenko to go up 2 weight divisions is a lot more weight than what Rigondeaux had to do, because when you get to the lower weights, it's 4 pounds in some of these divisions separate themselves. So it's not like he's going up like 20 fucking pounds to fight Lomachenko. That's what gone up 8 pounds, isn't he?
Yeah, they want him to go up 12 pounds.
So because he went up 8 pounds, Lomachenko's got to go up double that.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous. Errol Spence, he's a welterweight. Let's make it fair. Let Errol Spence fight Golovkin. Let's make it fair, innit? Lomachenko's got to fight Crawford. Then Errol Spencer's got to fight Golovkin.
I'd rather see Golovkin. Oh, nah, man. Golovkin's already fought a small welterweight. I'd rather see Golovkin go up and fight someone like Kovalev instead. Let's make that fight.
Yeah, let's make that fight. And while we're at it, let's put in Broner against Anthony Joshua. Why not? Make it interesting.
Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, Anthony Joshua, isn't it?
Oh, man.
You know what? Put Adrian Broner against Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia has to be bleeding. You know, he has to be bleeding, and so Adrian Broner doesn't know if he's going to catch something or not after the fight. Or during the fight, I should say.
Are you trying to get Anthony Joshua and Adrian Broner done for child abuse?
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
They have to call in, I mean, Garcia's family have to call in the social workers at some point.
Oh, man. Look, listen. The point is this. Lomachenko is getting a good fight against Linares. That's the thing. I mean, look, I know how good Lomachenko is. But in my experience, every time you think somebody is the best or unbeatable, the person that you least expect comes in and derails the whole plan. Lomachenko, a lot of people are think that he just has to show up against Linares and he's going to win. A lot of people seem to think the same thing against Mikey Garcia. All he has to do is show up and win. But are we overlooking Linares here?
I'll let someone else go first.
I think Linares is the best fight out there for him. Maybe a better fight out there that's available.
Not a lightweight.
Just, yeah, but you can't keep telling. We can't keep asking the guy to go up divisions all the time, Cameron. What do you want? Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, let's go. This week, let's go up to 154 this week. Let's go. You know, at the end of the day, he's in the division, right? He's in a division and he just established himself at that weight. Let him fight guys at that weight. Linares is the best fight available. Linares is one of the best guys in the division. Holds belts. I mean, great fight. I mean, who else? Tank's just fought. Tank. The names are not rolling off the tongue for me.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know, man. I think you misunderstood what I'm saying, man. At lightweight, he's staying at lightweight. He's just moving up to lightweight. Out of all the fights at lightweight, Linares is the best fighter at lightweight. That's what I'm saying. So, who else can he fight? There's no other better fight out there for him, not a lightweight. Anyway.
You're saying it. Well, yeah, that's the best fight at lightweight, but there's other fights out there. That's the way I thought you was trying to.
No, I'm just saying that is literally the best fight out there that I want to see him in right now.
Well, he is a light. Well, he is a
Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, but Mikey's just fought Butcher. Mikey's just fought Butcher. You
guys talking about? Oh, I thought you guys were talking about after Linares or something.
No, Garcia was at 140 when Lomachenko moved up to lightweight and had his fight fight. So
instead of Linares, we're basically saying.
Oh no! I agree with you too. There's nothing else. I mean, who?
It's the best fight out there for the guy. Linares is a very, very good fighter. I mean, I don't know why people are writing him off. Linares is top draw for me. And
I think he's good, man. I think Linares is legit, man. I've not really bought into the hype of the last few years. Beating Crawler and Mitchell and Gesto and things like that. I mean, I thought Campbell was a very good win. I rated the Campbell win. I always rated Campbell, but everyone else over the last few years, I think they've been pretty.
Hey, mate. Hey, Crawler was coming off 2 real good wins against Ismael Barroso, and against Carlos Perez, world champion at the time. That Barroso was the most avoided guy in the division at the time, a monster, knocking everyone out. Crawler came off 2 great wins, so that's a good win against Anthony Crawler. I don't know why you write that win off.
Yeah, man. I just feel like Barroso was built off of knocking out a shot Kevin Mitchell, man. That's what I feel like.
But Kevin Mitchell on his day is a very good fighter. Fucking very good amateur background, man. Let's not pretend here. When Amir Khan got knocked out by Breeders Prescott, Kevin Mitchell done a number on Breeders Prescott in his next fight. In Prescott's next fight, schooled him. So he's a world class fighter, but it's his lifestyle. It's like anyone. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you live your life in the pubs doing cocaine and drinking beer, you're going to get found out at the top, and that's what happened with Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I am being overcritical about the Crawler win. But I just feel like the Barroso win when it happened. I mean, look, I'm contradicting myself in a way because I thought Barroso was going to beat Crawler. I just feel like Barroso in that fight got exposed to be a bit of a hype job. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of contradicting myself because I thought he was going to beat Crawler. So
what's the matter with you?
I suppose I'm giving you credit, man.
The thing is, though, bro, the bookies had Barroso as the favourite, mate. So you weren't the only one. Do you know what I mean?
Look, it's a quality fight for Lomachenko. Linares has speed, he's got talent, he's got experience. Yes, he's been stopped before. Yes, he might not be beating names that people in North America know all that much. But like I agree with Stu. I mean, look, he outboxed Krolla. He beat Kevin Mitchell in a war, and the Luke Campbell win was pretty good. And Mercito Gesta is not a bum or anything, and Linares just outboxing for 12 rounds. So that's not a knock on Lomachenko or Linares. So I mean, again, yes, Lomachenko is looking so good that people are saying that nobody, no matter who he fights, people are gonna criticize him.
Is Linares better than is Linares win better than Indongo? Yes or no?
Yeah, of course it is.
Better than Postol?
A lot better.
Better than any win that Mikey Garcia has.
I mean, look. Who's he beat, man? Who's Garcia?
Rocky Juarez. Puerto Rican. What's his name?
Remember Martinez, Salido did wins at the time. Yeah. I mean, they were kind of in it one. But I mean, come on, man.
Hey, let's get it straight here. Fucking Ricky Burns beat Roman Martinez. Like,
that's true. Yeah,
that was 8 years ago when Martinez was still young as well.
Linares is undefeated since 2011.
Yeah, I mean, Linares is a win, man. I mean, Lomachenko's got a better resume than Mike Garcia now, anyway. So I mean, they're beating Linares. Yeah.
And speaking of Mikey Garcia, I don't know if he's changed his tune since then, but a couple of weeks ago we were talking about that, how he is saying that he wants Lomachenko in 3 fights. And I'm thinking, why 3 fights? Like, what's the matter with you? Like, this guy's insane. He's spending all his time at the shooting range, or hanging out with all his Segback, I should say. I mean, make a fight, man. Stop talking about 3 fights. It's like, I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they play it, but the point is this: Mikey Garcia is about as ready as anybody out there to take on Lomachenko. He's fought some very good opponents.
They're in their prime. Why wait?
Exactly. Like, what is? You know what? This guy's in it just for the money.
I got a feeling Mikey's going to struggle to break 135. You know, I know he's going down. Saying you're going down and making it's a different kettle of fish. That guy looked flabby at 140, man. I mean, he's got a lot of weight to lose. His head must weigh a fucking 130 pounds. I mean, fuck's sake.
I think he moved up. He didn't move up properly. I think he just moved up with careless and just moved up because obviously of that money fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if he trains properly, I think he can make 135 and add some definition.
He'll probably make it, Butcho. Right? He can probably make the weight, no doubt. But can he be at his best at that weight anymore? Because when you've outgrown a weight division and you're just draining yourself to get down, you're never at your best. I mean, Cal Brook will tell you that.
But what's his ideal weight here? Because let's be honest, he didn't look that powerful and destructive at 140 either, right?
135.
So then his weight is 135. Now, if it's indeed true what Stu's saying that he's gonna be struggling to make 135, then where is he supposed to be? You know, he's in a lot of problems here.
Well, I mean, he's talking about moving up to welterweight and stuff like that. I mean, the guy hasn't got the power at 140. The guy's going to struggle. I mean, for me, he's going to be like an Adrian Broner if he moves up to 147. He's not going to beat the elite guys.
I think 140 is his best. I think 140 is his best division. I think that's where he's going to have to be for a little while. If he's talking about 3 fights, I mean, in 3 fights time, I'd be surprised if he can make even 140. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know where this 3 fight shit's coming from, but with Mikey, just the shape of his body and the way he looks, I'd say 140 probably is his healthy weight, shall I say.
Well, look, he looked flabby against Lipinets, but when he fought Broner at 140 or at catchweight, I forget what the catchweight was there, he didn't look all that flabby. He looked in shape, so he can obviously fight at 140. And like Stu's saying, maybe if he goes down 135, those extra pounds could make the difference and be detrimental to him. I don't know, but the 140-pound division is starting to shape up into a decent division, and I don't know if Lomachenko is going to be moving up there at some point, but it's worth keeping an eye on it, that's for sure. Let's see what people are saying in the chat room. Boxing Killers TV says Segback needs to get iced. Whoa, a lot of hostility there. Casey Robinson says, Loma has a great resume, may be short, but the quality of opponents is better than most. Absolutely. Steven Skillrose, shout out to Steven, says, Lil Tank will be destroyed by Loma. See Me says, wasn't Garcia ordered to fight Easter? I don't know, but whether he's ordered or not, I mean, if a fight happens, it's a very good fight. Quincy Pinola says, Loma is a tough fight for Tank. Yeah, I don't want to see Tank Davis against Lomachenko. But then again, see, it's interesting how everybody's saying that Lomachenko beats everybody, but then Tank Davis is starting to come in and impress people. I know Stu's impressed with him. So what happens if Tank Davis starts beating up people and keeps being impressive, and he lines himself up for a fight against Lomachenko? That would be good.
If he beats, he's just beat Cuellar. Pedraza was a good win. Cuellar, not so much. I mean, if he beats somebody, I really do think that Nicholas Walters is a good fight for Tank Davis. I really do think that's a good fight for him. I mean, if we can beat someone like Nicholas Walters or someone like that, Jason Souza.
Hey, that's a great fight, Cameron. Great fight.
Yeah, I feel like if he can do a job on them, then I'll be like, you know what, I want to see him against Lomachenko.
Yeah,
Walters will tell us where he is, that's for sure. Walters will definitely tell us where Tank is. I don't think Tank's, confidence-wise, I don't think he's the most confident fighter out there at the moment. It seems like he lacks a bit of confidence. Any fighter that says he's not ready for another guy is telling you that he's lacking a bit of confidence. So I don't think putting him in with Lomachenko is going to do him any favours whatsoever right now. I mean, I know you guys are right when you say, oh, well, he's a world champion, he should be fighting the best. Yeah, he should. And as a fight fan, I want to see it. But if I was in Gervonta's camp, I'd avoid that fight for 2 or 3 more fights.
Yeah, I don't think he should be fighting Lomachenko anytime soon before he proves himself. The Walters fight is a good fight, but then again, wouldn't it be a bit of maybe a mirage for Tank Davis, an illusion? Because let's say he takes out, he took out Cuellar. Let's say he takes out or looks impressive against Walters, but those are 2 guys that haven't fought in 2 years. So would that be a bit of an illusion there if he fights a guy who hasn't fought in over 2 years?
Yeah, I suppose you got a point, bro. You got a point.
Sorry, man, I missed that. What did you say, BDA?
The Walters fight. I mean, if he takes on the Walters right now, that would be a very inactive.
No, I don't want to see that now, man. I'd rather see Walters get a comeback fight. I mean, the guy's not fought since Lomachenko in November 2016, which is like a year and a half ago. I mean, do you know what, man? This is what really bothers me about Walters, because I was a fan of Walters. I like Walters. I know he quit against Lomachenko, but the fact of the matter is he's a handful for anybody else in that weight. You know what I mean? And the guy's been wasted. I mean, Top Rank have really screwed him over. They're not offering fights. Aaron really screwed him over in that Lomachenko fight. After that fight, Aaron just didn't bother. He had a fight on the Crawford and Donga undercard, but he pulled out of that, for some health problem. In my opinion, he couldn't make the weight because he blows up in between fights. I mean, the guy's just right. I've been trying to get hold of Walters, so I've been trying to search him down for like the last year. There's no sign of him, man.
Really?
His career's just getting wasted, man. I mean, he walks around at like 170 pounds right now, I assume. He's got
when you said about fighting Walters, I never took that into account. Yeah, it's maybe not a good fight, is it?
No, maybe like a Jason Souza would be a good fight for Tank Davis. Yeah.
Well, weren't they supposed to fight?
Like that.
At some point, weren't they supposed to fight?
Who's that?
Tank Davis and Souza, or maybe I'm mistaking Souza for another fight.
No, I don't think they were. I might be wrong about that, but off the top of my head, I can't remember that fight being spoke about.
Well, I tell you what, though, that's the thing I love about boxing, that right now everybody's talking about Lomachenko and Garcia, but what if Tank Davis starts putting on, or continues to put on good performances, and then all of a sudden everybody's clamoring for a Lomachenko versus Tank? Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is you never know who's going to come out of the woodwork, or which new prospect. I mean, look at Pacquiao, man. Look at Pacquiao's rise. Yeah?
So, just another thing on that Tank Davis, obviously, Albert Macedo is actually the WBA champion as well. That'd be a good fight for Tank Davis. Very good fight. He's undefeated as well, Macedo, sorry.
Yeah, long, rangy boxer, trains with Freddie Roach. Why not, man? I mean, and he beat the Panamanian guy with the, what's his name, with the Phoenix haircut?
Jezreel Corrales.
Corrales, yes, thank you, Jezreel Corrales. So he's got some quality behind him. I mean, this lightweight division is looking pretty good, man. Very good division. 140 pounds isn't looking all that bad. 130 is really the one that's, you know, Lomachenko's leaving it, so it's kind of a little bit of a wide open division. But I mean, I still like 130 pounds, man. I'm looking at it right now. Let me put it up. It's not a bad division. I mean, you still got Johnny Gonzalez, the aforementioned Corrales, Christopher Diaz. I'm not familiar with him. Miguel Roman, who always puts on good performances. Tevin Farmer, very slick guy. That's right, I said slick.
That's a good fight for Tank, Johnny Gonzalez.
Well, I think he takes out Gonzalez, man. He's too fast, and I mean, Gonzalez, he can be taken out. And then you put him in there against a guy who hits faster than him as well. It's a bad matchup. Yeah,
Tank would destroy Johnny Gonzalez. Look how Gary Russell was tagging him up. The guy's just too easy to hit. Doesn't move his head, just walks forward. I mean, no chance for Johnny Gonzalez in that one. Let's be real. He got lucky against Abner Mares. He just got lucky. His size helped as well, but Tank's a different animal to Abner Mares, that's for sure.
So wait, Davis can beat all these guys, but he's not ready to fight Lomachenko.
No, I'm saying I want to see the fight, but I'm saying if I was in Tank Davis's camp, I wouldn't take it for his sake, because mentally, I just think he'd get destroyed. Mentally, that's without.
Stu's got a good point. Actually, Stu's got a good point. You know, maybe in talent wise, in terms of like, skill wise, where he's at in his career, he's one of the best fighters out there for Loma at 130. But if he hasn't got the confidence, you know, it might take a win over someone like a Souza or, you know, Makeda or someone like that, for Tank to really get the confidence that he can beat somebody like Lomachenko.
But where are you guys getting? I'm just gonna ask. Where are you getting this perception that Davis is not 100% mentally ready for Lomachenko?
But what he says, man, he's saying stuff like, "I thought Lomachenko was on pay-per-view," which is just not possible.
I've seen many.
Okay, but that may be negotiation. But like,
I've seen many interviews where he said he's not ready to fight Lomachenko yet. He's not ready for him, and it's like I said, any fighter says he's not ready for a guy, then mentally he's not ready for it. Because if you're a confident guy, you take any fight.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
Just look at his interviews. And how he's like a shy guy in the corner waiting for Floyd to tell him he can speak. He's got no self-confidence.
Hey, I got a question. Is Floyd Mayweather to Tank Davis what De La Hoya is to Ryan Garcia? If you know what I mean.
God, man.
I'm just asking.
No comment.
All right. Well, by the way, I just want to mention real quick, Chris Gonzalez came into the chat room for just to say something, and he says he can't stay because there was just a death in the family. So shout out to Chris Gonzalez. Stay strong, man. It's never easy to lose somebody. So
all the best, Chris. Even though you troll me, mate, all the best for your family.
Yeah, man. Stay strong out there.
Sorry to hear that, man.
All right, let's get back to some dick jokes. Here's the thing about, BDA. Bucho asked, what makes you guys think or say that Tank Davis isn't ready for Lomachenko? How about the fact that Lomachenko has been making guys quit? Veterans, good, tough fighters quit. And meanwhile, Tank Davis is 23, and he's getting into Instagram.
Recognize the Matrix as proper good point in the chat. He says, what about Tank Davis versus Miguel Berchelt? That's a very good point.
Oh, but I mean, Berchelt, I don't think Berchelt is given the credit that he deserves. This guy is he looks like a welterweight in there. And he can box a little bit, and when he comes forward and starts digging to the body, I want to see Tank Davis in against maybe like a Mendy or somebody less strong, but who's still gonna stay there in front of him. But Berchelt, but then again, Berchelt, he's fighting.
By the way, when's Davis gonna be mentally ready? Like, how is he gonna fix that?
Well, by fighting somebody that resembles Lomachenko, and he shows that he can hang in the ring.
Good luck with that, man.
No. Yeah. He just needs a big win. No, I know he said, Pedraza was a very good win, but he needs that big win. Like that, like someone like a Makedo's a world champion, or Souza, or someone like that. I feel like if he beats somebody who's maybe like a top 5, top 10 guy, I think like it will really give him the confidence.
Yeah, because we can't forget here. He's recently had 2 stinking performances where he was really poor on the Conor McGregor Mayweather undercard. He was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like a switch. He can switch it on, and then he'll turn it one day and it just won't be on, and he can't get it together, and he looks sloppy and horrible. And if he does that against Lomachenko, it's going to be an awful night for him. So I think he needs to get mentally right. You can't just switch off. You've got to be at your best all the time, and that's my problem with Tank. I think mentally he's all over the place at the moment.
But that's what I was saying.
I've heard he don't even like Floyd Mayweather anymore. So.
But that's what I'm saying is with Tank Davis, he's getting into Instagram fights against people. Meanwhile, Lomachenko is making guys quit. Do you really think the guy who's getting into internet fights has you really think he's not going to quit against Lomachenko, or is not going to get...
Who doesn't do that? Who doesn't do that? Charlos are on Instagram fighting.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's not... mentally, that's the proof that he's not ready for Lomachenko, that he's still getting emotional out there. He hasn't beaten anybody. Even his best opponent, Petrasa, was landing left hands on him all night. So, no, he's not ready for Lomachenko.
Well, I mean, he's not that good, maybe. I mean, come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying, exactly.
Listen, that's why famous boxers becoming champions at the age of 21 and fighting the best. 23, 24, before they reach 25.
But can I just say something? I just want to say something real quick.
When I said about him having two recent poor performances, I'm not on about his last performance. So if anyone wants to troll me about that one, he was fantastic in that fight. But I've watched a few fights where this guy he switches off, and I can't understand how not many people can see this, that he's mentally weak, I think.
Well, listen, I just want to say one thing. When people say about Tank Davis, well, when's he gonna be ready for Lomachenko? He's ready. The main argument they make about him there's needing to fight Lomachenko is because Tank Davis has a title. But in that case, anybody that has a title should be in line to fight Lomachenko. I mean, just because you have a title doesn't mean... Listen, take the title away from Tank Davis, which he doesn't have a title now, by the way. But take away all that. This is a guy... But hold on a second. He's still just a prospect. Now, again, I can't defend Tank Davis too much because now he's come out after the Cuellar fight and he says, yeah, I want Lomachenko. So if he's saying he wants him, I can't defend him. It's coming straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah.
I was going to correct the fan Moyes in the chat saying the WBA stripped Birchout with the WBA Super and gave it to Tank and made him regular WBA. I just want to correct him on that. Birchout was actually a WBC champion. Mikado was a WBA champion. They actually elevated Tank to the Super champion and Mikado is the regular champion. So Birchout wasn't involved in that situation. It's Mikado, not Birchout.
All right. So that's a good correction.
I think when he called out Lomachenko after the fight, when the adrenaline's pumping, you've just knocked someone out in style. You're feeling good about yourself, and your balls grow a couple of inches, don't they? You get brave. Yeah. But when the adrenaline starts to wear off and reality starts to kick in, that's when we're going to see if he really wants to fight. And for me, he doesn't want it. He's been asked many times about the fight. Floyd even doesn't even want it for him. Floyd said we're not going that route. So let's be real. That fight's not going to happen anytime soon.
We should move on.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Before we move on, this Boxing Style is in the chat room saying that BDA is a fanboy. He's a Tank Davis fanboy.
But do you think I'm going to have that? Do you really think I'm going to have that, you ponce?
You think I'm going to stand here and let you talk about that way? I just said that I can't defend Tank Davis. Now, Boxing Style, I am calling you out. I want you on the show, and I want you right now so we can settle this through verbal fisticuffs. No, but it's true.
We had a really calm collective show with really good points, and now Boxing Style is going to come on and ruin it.
Oh, wait a minute. You got something against Boxing Style, or are you trolling him the way he trolls you?
I'm trolling. No, man. It's not excess. If you're messing with Wilder, you're messing with me. If you're messing with BDA, you're messing with me.
All right, there you go. So I got Cameron backing me up, just like De La Hoya backs up Ryan Garcia. Well, I mean, I hope that's not the same way. I hope it's not the same way. Chris Gonzalez says, thanks guys for the kind words. I didn't expect that at all. Stu is an okay bloke. This podcast is like comfort food right now. Well, listen, I hope we can distract you a little bit. Now, it's the thing. Whenever somebody in your family dies, there's no, one cure that's going to make you forget about it in a day or in 2 hours. It's a process. We all know that. And I don't want to sound like Dr. Phil, but it's the truth. So as long as any little thing can distract you from that for even just a second, I'm glad that this show can provide that.
Yeah, and I mean, I lost a lot of relatives, man, when I was going through my teenage years, man. So I know it feels. The best thing to do, man, is just distract yourself, man. Listen to things that distract you that you enjoy doing, man. A bit of music and all that, whatever it is, man. And Surround yourself with good people, man, and you'll be all right.
That's right.
Music's not the answer, mate. Especially not fucking slow songs, and you will be fucking.
Well, no, actually, if you're listening to sad songs and you start crying, you're letting the emotion out, and before you know it, you start feeling a little better.
Yeah, it's true though. When you do that, like I said, I've been to so many funerals. Each time you become stronger at every one. Do you know what I mean? So it becomes like the norm for a while. You're just sitting there, everyone's crying, and you're just sitting there like normal because it's become the norm to you. But
that's for me, man. I lost my best friend at 18, and I already went to 3 funerals before that.
Oh.
So I had a friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine, crying on me during the funeral. I just wasn't crying during it, man. I was just like, you know what I mean? I've just been there before, man. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
Mm-hmm. Now let's get down to the interesting.
Sorry, man. We just turned into this depressing show, man. Let's talk about boxing.
No. I wasn't saying it was depressing, but I was just going to say that it's interesting. We're talking about death and all that. Recognize the Matrix says, BDA, you always distract me. I almost fell 5 stories to my demise. Recognize had that interesting that story over at Second Renaissance about the ghost story. And I got to ask you guys, have you ever seen a ghost?
What is this, a replay of Second Renaissance we done the other week?
I'm just asking because I'm curious. I mean, everybody's got a ghost story. Well, almost everybody. And oftentimes people are afraid to talk about it because they don't want to seem like crazy people.
I mean, I'm still waiting for the ghost that sits on Recognize's bed watching him sleep to come to my house. So until that happens, no.
Well, there you go. That's a no right there. And by the way, I understand it would be scary to see a ghost walking around in your house. But then if you think about it, can a ghost really do something to you? Because if it could, wouldn't it have done something already?
Well, we would have heard something, wouldn't we? But then again, man, I don't know, man, really.
And by the way,
let's talk boxing.
In the chat room, Covert Operative says, go on Boxing Style, silence that peasant BDA and the rest of those fools. Let me tell you something. Boxing Style, you might think Covert Operative is your friend, but he doesn't believe the Armenian genocide ever happened. He's an Armenian genocide denier, so be careful who you associate with, because he doesn't believe your people almost got exterminated by the Turks. Mighty Claire says, has Gaia ever seen a ghost? Gaia is a computer, and I still maintain that fucking computers can't see anything that is immaterial or that lacks substance. These fucking...
I think Gaia's got an agenda against all of us on the panel.
Really? What makes you think that?
I don't know, man. It's like he's never said anything positive about any of us. Like, every show he's always said something negative to us. He's called us all monkeys before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have no time for that.
No, you just woke Guy up.
Yeah, but I mean, Guy is not somebody that I'd befriend. You know what I mean? If I saw him on fire, I wouldn't spit on him. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, it's a she.
Well, if I saw her on fire,
That's
I wouldn't
right.
spit on her. You know what I mean?
You're boring.
Oh, saying you're boring.
I'd let it burn, man.
I have spoken.
All right, Gaia, come on. We don't want to... Every time you open your mouth, you're always insulting somebody or you're insulting a whole race, ethnic group, whatever it may be. So I don't know if we got time for you right now today.
That's racist.
I'm saying you... Nah, fuck it. Listen, see, that's why we got a fucking stupid computer, man. It's supposed to be a supercomputer. All it does is break my balls. All the time, breaking balls.
Man. He's called us all monkeys and he thinks we're racist.
All right, you know what? You're not going to make friends with Gaia if you keep calling her a he.
Well, it's a lady boy, innit?
I mean...
Incorrect.
All right, shut up.
Nice and creamy.
Nice and creamy what? Fucking stupid computer. All right. I wanted to ask, since you guys want to keep talking boxing, Daniel Jacobs, I was reading a comment somebody made over at Ring TV, and he says, Danny Jacobs had a hard night against Sulecki, much harder than anybody expected. Before the knockdown, I thought Danny maybe had one round advantage. I believe it was the style that confounded Danny, and I wonder how a guy who moves really well like Billy Joe Saunders would fare against him. Also, Danny better up his performance if and when he's in there against Charlo. What do you guys think? Does he get past Billy Joe Saunders?
No. Not based on his last performance, he doesn't.
So All right, so you're saying Billy Joe Saunders is that good a boxer? Just like a pure, because he is a pure boxer. He's not a puncher. He's a pure boxer.
No, I mean, even before the weekend, I thought Saunders beat Jacobs.
Hmm.
I'm just even more confident of it now.
Right. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders has a good jab, good sharp jab, and good high boxing IQ. But when he fights somebody that can stand in there and box with him, kind of like Monroe, he doesn't really look as dominant. I mean, he likes it when it's a guy like O'Sullivan or David Lemieux, guys that just put their hands up and he can turn them and just dance around them. But when it's somebody like, but that's the other thing, he has a very good right jab, and freaking Daniel Jacobs was getting out jabbed by both Golovkin and by Sulecki. So now I'm thinking about whether Jacobs can really outbox Billy Joe Saunders. Then again, Billy Joe Saunders, a lot of people think he should have lost against Akavov. So, I mean, I think it can go both ways.
Like I said, Jacobs, I mean, we're putting it's like he maybe had an off night, just like Saunders did against that guy you just mentioned. I can't pronounce his name.
Akavov.
So, yeah. I think Jacobs, man, if he faces another elite fighter, he's going to step up his game.
I agree with that. I think if he fights someone like Charlo, I think we'll see, a much better Jacobs. I feel like Jacobs is one of those fighters that fights to the level of the opponent.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
but that's the thing. Jacobs, for such a tall and long middleweight, he doesn't really jab all that much. I mean, against Luis Arias, now that I think about it, he didn't really land that many jabs. Neither against, what's his name? Peter Quillen. No, not Quillen. Truax. He's not a big jabber. He's a bit of a slapper and an up jabber, but he doesn't really. He's not a strong jabber, is what I'm saying.
If you go back to watch his earlier fights when he fought Pirog and before the Pirog fight, he didn't even really have a chance back then either. Like, even when he was coming through, man, he was very more. He's very right hand friendly. You know what I mean? He didn't really set shots up.
Right.
He kind of just looked for openings. Even early on in his career, he's not really developed with his jab.
That's a good point. And that's interesting to hear because I haven't watched. I think the only pre-Pirog fight that I watched was the Ishu Smith fight lately. I don't remember really his other fights. So that's interesting that you mentioned that even back then when he was fighting inferior opposition, he wasn't jabbing all that much. So that's kind of disconcerting right there. And by the way, we got Recognize the Matrix on the line.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right. Put sirens in his intro.
Playing GTA or something, man.
I'm telling you, man, every time I call you guys or every time we talk, I'm outside.
Are you outside the police station trying to bail X out?
So X is still locked up. I might bail him out today. I feel bad for the sucker, So no, I'm actually by the hospital. I'm gonna go visit someone who had a bit of an accident. So I wanted to stop by and say what's up really quick before I go inside and get all depressed.
My God. So
I should be laughing, man. I should be laughing. Whoever it is, man, send my
No. Somebody I know got injured in they're gonna be fine. They got injured in a car accident. So they're gonna be fine. It just broke their leg, the dude broke his leg in 2 places. So
Jesus.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go visit him, talk to him for a little bit, cheer him up. Probably have him listen to you guys and shit. He used to work with me, so he listens to the show.
Oh nice. Man, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, he'll be fine, man. This guy's big as fuck, man.
Chris Gonzalez lost somebody today. One of your friends are injured, man. What's going on with this world, man?
And it's beautiful today in New York. It's 80 degrees. I mean, for certain people that may not be anything, but New York, that's great.
I don't know how that much. 80 degrees. How much is that?
I've just turned on the news, man, just trying to see if
80 degrees. What do you guys do? Celsius?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Damn, off the top of my head, I don't even know.
Me neither, man.
I reckon I I'm just looking on the news, recognise, just kind of see if there's any news or breaking news on X's arrest, but there's nothing up yet.
Well, X will tell you, the media is trying to hide his status.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I heard you guys were talking about Tank and why doesn't Tank fight Burchell, man? How come? I mean, he's at 130, right?
Yeah.
So he might as well just fight the next best guy, fight Burchell.
No, he's not mentally ready.
So if he's not mentally ready, it's like this is what gets me about boxing today, man. It's like, okay, I'm ready to be a champion, but I'm not ready to fight the best fighters. It's like,
no,
so
he's ready to fight the best fighters. He's not ready for Lomachenko, man. But you know, man, I've seen a lot of these people on Twitter, a lot of respectful people that I really kind of respect on Twitter, and they're like, oh, you can't blame Grant Davis for not fighting Lomachenko and things like that. And I can understand what they're saying because Stu brought up a good point about him, being mentally not ready. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but at the same time, I do have the attitude and the approach to boxing with all fighters. As soon as you win a world title, there's no going back. You should be ready for anybody. That's how I see it.
I agree. Once you think of Mike Tyson when he was like 20, winning a title. He didn't, not that the heavyweight was the greatest division back then, but there was some good fighters, and he was 20 years old and 21, 22, and he was over there fighting these guys who had a lot of experience over him, and in his case, they were much bigger than he was. It's like, I'm not saying everybody's going to be like Mike Tyson. That's ridiculous to think that, but my point is, it's backwards now. It's like, okay, you're a contender when you're a title holder, but you're not quite ready for the next guy who's probably a champion in your weight class, like a Lomachenko. And the excuse is, well, it's because he's younger and he's not ready. He's 22, 23. That's an excuse, man.
How old was Canelo when he fought Mayweather?
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. He was 23.
Are we 22. Still talking about Tank Davis?
The Tank Man.
Yeah, and look how Canelo froze on the night.
Yeah, I mean, look, Canelo wasn't. I don't think he was going to beat Floyd at that point.
He froze.
Yeah, he froze.
He's nowhere near experienced enough already for that fight. This is the point.
Right, Stu. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for that kind of. Not that he took an ass whipping or bruising ass whipping, but he got outboxed. He tried to hold his own. He stayed in the fight, but it wasn't. He was one step. He was always one step away from what Floyd could do. So,
but that's what I'm curious. Well, why do people want to see Tank Davis in against Lomachenko? Like, what has Tank Davis done to make you guys think that he deserves to be in there with Lomachenko?
To be honest, I don't want to see it. Not right now.
Oh, okay.
I would if he got in there with Burchell and he beat him impressively, or just beats him, period. If he has to win on points and he does it in an impressive fashion, then you can start, now you can start making the case for him. Like, wait, okay, this guy's got a nice name under his belt. Maybe he could, when it comes to that conversation, like, wow, maybe he can beat Lomachenko, then I want to see that fight. That's when I want to see it, in my opinion. Right now, I don't think he stands much of a shot. I think it would be like Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo.
Now that you mentioned that, John Gonzalez is bringing up a good point. He says Tank Davis is scared to lose his O, while Gassiev is willing to lose his in a much more dangerous fight at the same age. Not everybody's created equal.
Different situation. And Gassiev's already proven to be a top 2 fighter, usually beating some of the top guys.
Exactly.
Completely different.
Exactly. Very good point. See, Cameron made the point better than I ever could have in less time. I mean, what has Tank Davis done to make a lot of people? You know what? Is it because he's undefeated? Is it because he's got power? Is it because he's promoted by Floyd Mayweather? I don't know, but it just seems like people, they want to throw him in there against Lomachenko. And look, listen,
I think he nailed it. You said that's exactly what it is. What you just said, BDA.
But then again, Tank came out now and he says he wants to fight Lomachenko. So, I mean, what are we
gleaning? He wants to fight and make it happen. That's what I say. If he wants that smoke, then make it happen.
If he wants that smoke. By the way, we're gonna come back tomorrow and do another podcast. So if we end this one in a couple of minutes, I hope nobody minds.
That's okay, man. I'm probably gonna have to run into this hospital and
Hospital?
I won't be able to talk. Yeah, I'm visiting a friend.
Jeez, Luis, everybody's got something going on. I hope he's all right.
That's what I said, man. I said that just now. I was like, everything's going on, man.
I'm not even expecting. I know I'm expecting to see something crazy because they say he broke his leg in two pieces.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell that means.
That's not that bad.
Exactly.
Call him a pussy, by the way. Hey, by the way,
that now, man, I can call him that now, right? This guy's big as fuck, man.
Hey,
Call him a pussy.
Let me ask you, recognize, have you ever worked in a hospital repairing the, or overseeing the elevators and all that, like taking care of them over there?
Twice. One was in Bellevue Hospital, which is like the crazy house.
Right. Oh, shit.
Where they have the crazy. Yeah, that was, their elevator shafts, they're fucking huge, man. And so you can hear echoes.
Recognize. Listen, man, don't start working the elevators because they'll find you dead in the water tank not long after.
It's funny. They were like, they were telling, like, the guys were fucking with me. This is when I was pretty new at the job. And they're like, oh, you work in Bellevue Hospital? Yeah, man. There's some evil spirits lurking around those elevator shafts. And it fucked with me. I let it fuck with me. I was going in there. I was hearing some echoes. I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ. They got into your head, man, by telling you that you were hearing things. By the way, did you walk past the cells, the holding cells? And if so, did a guy throw a cum at you like they did in Silence of the Lambs?
I would have, but BDA, if that would have happened back then, I would have been in there. I would have been one of the patients. I would have killed them.
I think if Ryan Garcia would have had that happen to him, I think he would have gone back for seconds and thirds. I'll tell you that much right now. And by the way,
he would have tried. Recognize, don't kill anybody, man. Because he'll be X-bailing you out next.
Oh,
if I had to wait for X to bail me out, I'll be in there forever.
Do a life sentence. We even got sentenced to court.
Hey, by the way,
don't worry, I'm gonna get you out. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you out. Yeah, you've been saying that for the last 5 years.
You know, it's interesting. There was the guy that I know at my gym who he repairs what's it called, heating, and he's into ventilation. In other words, for buildings, industrial ventilation.
Yeah,
that type. Industrial ventilation. I don't know what you call it, but he knows a guy. Oh, no, actually, sorry. This is a different guy. This is a different guy who works in the same thing. But he said one time he went into a hospital. And the doctors there told him, oh, yeah, you got to go in that room. That's where the problem is. So he goes into the room, and there were fetuses all over the place in jars. And I asked him, yeah. And I asked the guy, do you think they did it on purpose? Like they were trying to play a joke on you? And he says, I don't know, man. All I know is that there were dead babies all over the place. And these guys were walking around as if there was nothing wrong. So I'm thinking, you never know what you're going to encounter when you're working in hospitals and in other types of buildings or insane asylums. That's a fucked up story right there from both recognizing the other guy.
I can't deal with that. Like my ex-wife works in a hospital, and I'm wondering, ever since she started working there, she was being like more of a pain in the ass to me, and I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. While working in the hospital. You see the craziest things, not me. I couldn't do it.
Emotionally, it must be very, very draining. Because can you imagine, having a nice day, and then all of a sudden a fucking child comes in and dies in front of you or something.
Yeah.
That can fucking ruin your week. Never mind your day. And they have to encounter that on quite a lot of occasions, don't they? People coming in with their fucking legs snapped in half, chin bones sticking out. Some of the gruesome stuff that I have to see, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
One of my neighbors, really quickly. I didn't hear what happened, but all I know was that supposedly he quit being a cop because he saw a murder, or he went into an apartment and someone had got murdered, and I think it was like a little girl or something like that. He quit.
Oh yeah. These guys, they burn out, man.
Yeah, he's like, nah, it's not for me.
Nah.
Do you know what? You got to be fucked up in the head to be a coroner, ain't you?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
What would make you want to fucking spend your evenings with some dead corpse that's been fucking chopped up by the Mexican mafia? You know what I mean?
Wait, why does it have to be the Mexican mafia?
Huh?
Oh, you know how you Mexicans get down.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's how they're doing things. That's how they're doing things at the moment. Fucking, I watched something where they had about 4 different heads on this fucking car, man.
Jeez.
Stuck it on top of the car and left it there. 4 different heads.
Did I talk about that? How in YouTube they hire people to check uploaded the most recent videos, because people upload millions of videos a day, so somebody has to sort out whether they're acceptable or not. And apparently the average time that people last in that job is about 3 months, because they see all sorts of shit that people try to upload on YouTube. And it's some, like, you should be thankful that there's people out there, because otherwise you'd be seeing like beheadings and all that shit on YouTube. But these people are out there to stop it. But
yeah.
I mean, you get.
I watched that. BDA, I watched that one time, maybe 10 years ago on YouTube. Or was it YouTube? I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't
anyway,
YouTube.
I watched it on the internet. Excuse me. I watched that on the internet. I cannot watch that. I saw somebody get, they're not. I'm not talking about cut his head off. They severed, like they. Yeah, I heard that scream, and I saw the way they did that shit. I said I'll never watch that.
Hey mate, I watched one. This guy put one on. This guy tagged me in this video on Facebook. I clicked on it. It was fucking exterior, isn't it? It was fucking ISIS. They got hold of some guy, and they were sitting there. They weren't even doing it with a sharp knife. It was a fucking butter knife, man. It was like it took him about 45 minutes. It's poor guy, man, sitting there. I was going, oh, Akbar. That's all you can see. And this guy sitting there getting his fucking head chopped up. It took him about 30 minutes to do it. It was gruesome, man. I don't want to see stuff like that, so I'm glad it's blocked, man.
Yeah, the worst one I saw, man, was on Facebook. They were seeing it. They had these guys locked up in a cage. And they set the cage on fire, and you saw these guys getting burned alive, man. It was fucking horrific.
Oh, yeah,
I saw that one too. Yeah.
Jesus, how many have you seen there, Recognize?
Well, no, that one was like it was one of these videos that they show fast clips of war and war overseas in the Middle East. And so quickly, what Cameron was saying, I saw this guy, a cage and a guy in it, and he was burnt. He was getting burned. He was a Muslim guy too.
I think that was
what about the other ones? Yeah. What about the other ones in the fucking shit? They throw people off cliffs, don't they? Like they throw gay people off cliffs and shit.
Oh yeah.
After they rape them. After they rape them.
Hey,
what the fuck?
Really satanic, man.
I see one where this fucking guy, these guys are going down the road in the car, right? In this quite a nice car, and they're sitting there with the fucking windows down, music on, sunshades on, driving down. Next minute, fucking car of fucking Taliban or ISIS just come along and just spray the car with about fucking 1,000 bullets, man. The next minute, the car just veers off. They're obviously all dead. Veers off into this fucking bush or whatever it was, man. They just shot the car. Nothing. They was just going down the road having a good day. Next minute, just someone just come out of nowhere and fucking took them off the road, man.
It's fucking insane, man.
I like how
fucking laughing, man.
Yeah, that's the worst part. I like how you guys are saying that in those Arab countries they throw gay people off cliffs, and then Recognize says, yeah, but before they rape them before that. I'm thinking, wait a minute, what? They're throwing him off the cliff for being gay, but first they rape him. Like, do they throw themselves off?
They took one of those gay or transgender whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I read this, and they were like they. I mean, it could be bullshit. I don't know, but apparently they fucking raped him and then threw him off.
And the rapist. But hold on,
listen, it's not that. Really quickly, it's not that surprising. A lot of these like dudes that wanna. A lot of these men that want to like fucking torture you before they kill you, they're raping you basically. If they're not sticking their stuff in you, they're basically trying to rape you. They're trying to rape you of your soul,
Right.
Before they.
I think ISIS, right? ISIS was It was somewhere for perverts, you know, sick-minded perverts.
Exactly, man.
It was somewhere for them to join and get away with it because they'd use their ideology to use it as an excuse. But these, look at them, rapists and perverts and fucking homosexuals. That's what they are. And then they go to ISIS so they can fill out their fucking weird fantasy.
So if Ryan Garcia goes to one of those countries,
someone in the chat, Bats in the chat, I'm laughing in the chat. Bats goes, what do you say? He goes, guys, I'm trying to eat my steak right now. Y'all ain't helping.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Recognize he's gonna go see his friend who's got a broken leg, and he's gonna be probably regaling him with a bunch of videos he's seen on YouTube. Like, hey man, I saw this one video where this guy lost both his legs. Like, shut up.
Recognize. Just make sure there's no butter knives around, alright?
Look, mate, if you don't need butter knives, just get the scarf out, boys.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. The sightseeing I'm seeing right now, man, this is way better than fucking talking about fucking ISIS cutting people's heads off and fucking them and throwing them off the roof.
Has anyone seen that video? Those two Taliban guys. They're basically handcuffed. They're sat down and some guy cuts their head off with a chainsaw. Has anyone seen that?
Oh my god!
The fuck's the matter with you, man? What is the matter with you?
Has anyone seen that, man?
No, we haven't seen it. We're not a bunch of sick bastards like you.
As soon as the chainsaw hits the fucking skin, man, it's just fucking oh man, it's fucking spraying all over the joint.
Have you guys?
I've never been mad enough to the point where I've said, you know what I want to do is like sit 3 guys down and chop them up with a chainsaw. I mean, I've thought of bad things. Don't get me wrong, like punching a guy to death until he fucking dies or something.
Oh.
But yeah. I mean, maybe that's the extreme I've gone. You know, like I just want to beat him so bad till he like dies. But never to the point where I said, you know, I want to take a butter knife and I want to just like cut his head off and rip it off, you know.
Well, you know what? I think the butter knife thing was incompetence.
And then go fucking saw their body off in the bathroom. You got to be a sick cunt to start chopping through a leg and a half.
Dude, the worst ones are when they do that, then they hold the fucking body in a fucking freezer and shit, like fucking body parts in the freezers and shit.
Like what about shit like what Sean Cummins that I told you about, innit?
Yeah.
He was found in the freezer when he chopped up in his own house.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Well, that really is fucked up, man, innit?
Hey, by the way,
some real fucked up person. You know, man, I'm gonna chop you up and stick your body parts in the freezer like a fucking fresh bit of meat. You know what I mean?
Apology, man. What? Pastor Troy just subscribed.
BDA.
Troy.
Shout out to Pastor.
This is people are subscribing because they like hearing about beheadings, apparently.
Yeah, apparently we should have. You know what we should do? We should just have a special beheading episode.
They're like hearing Sean Cummins chopped up next to the fish fingers in the freezer.
Fuck that.
Oh, oh, that was a good one.
I just typed in Sean Cummins box on Google. I'm just shit now.
I can imagine Apology Man listening to this conversation and saying each
body part's got his own Wikipedia page.
Hey, speaking of gruesome videos, have you guys seen that video? It's fucking hardcore, man. It's this guy, he's working in an office and he's handling a bunch of papers and somebody says, hey, can you give me the Peterson report? And the guy hands him the paper and accidentally cuts his finger a little bit with the paper, like a paper cut. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, fucking hardcore, man.
Fucking kind of paper cut was that?
Ooh, it was a bad one, let me tell you. Very.
Nah, man, that's too much blood for me, man.
I know.
Is that the kind of paper that survived an airplane explosion into a building?
Yes, it was the one. That's the one they used to make the passport. Yes.
The most fucking weirdest video out there that I've seen growing up is fucking 2 girls, 1 cup. Fuck me.
2 girls, what?
2 girls, 1 cup, man. Have you not seen that?
1 cut.
One cup. 1 cup.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I don't.
Ah, man, listen, man. That I mean, I eat ass, so that's fucked up, man. You have to pay me a lot of fucking.
unless it's mine, I've never liked those. That one guy with 2 girls. Like, fuck out of here.
No. You're missing you haven't watched the video, so Cameron, explain the video in as less gruesome.
Okay. Right.
Come
So
on.
basically, it's two girls making out at the start of the video. It's about a minute long. Two girls, they start fucking. This girl fucking shits in the cup. They start fucking eating the shit and making out with shit in their mouth and that. And they start fucking vomiting. And they start.
Oh my god!
Then they literally, man, they just start eating and swallowing. And this girl starts eating this girl's shit and that. I can't finish.
Oh, you dirty bastard!
Yeah, I tried to watch it in 2007, and I only went like 2 seconds later. I was gagging and fucking.
Oh, you fuck's sake, man! Like, anyone that watches that, you deserve to be fucking. You deserve. You deserve everything that happens to you in your life, man. I mean, what a vile.
One of my friends showed me it when I was about 13. I've never watched it since. Never watched it since.
There's
yeah.
Now you might think I'm sick for saying this, but I saw one thing. I saw one porn. The guy's pretty famous. He's like a Italian or some shit like. I don't know what he is. I think he's from Italy, and he's pretty hardcore with his porn. So anyway, he takes his girl. He's fucking her. He's doing her on the ass. Next thing you know, the camera breaks to him, and he's got this girl, like, he's pulling her by the hair. He takes her to the bathroom. He puts her head in the toilet and starts fucking in the ass. I said, damn, that shit is hardcore. I got to do that one day.
What, flushing her toilet? Flushing her head down?
Yeah. He's
oh,
like, he's got her head in the toilet and he's banging in the ass. I'm like,
well, why not?
Shit.
And by the way,
man, I need to do that.
With two girls, one cup, what's worse, the video or realizing you have a hard on when you're watching it?
I might have to check myself in, man.
And by the way, people in the chat room are saying, Kyle and Pavel say Rocco Siffredi. So that's the type of people we have.
That's him. Oh shit! Yeah. Tell Pavel or whoever said that. That's exactly who he is. Yeah.
That's the type of people that we've got in the chat room. They know right away who you're talking about. Like, oh, you're talking about, Valentino Siffredi. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it's like. They know all about it, man.
That's his name. Valentino something. Yeah. That's
no, it's
Realised you had a hard on during it.
Oh my God!
I don't know. I found it impressive. I found it impressive because the girl ended up liking it. You know, so I was like, "Wow, I gotta do that one day. See if that works."
I'll tell you what, though. That's a right sick fuckers out there, isn't there?
Oh yeah. Which one? The one.
I mean, some of these people are born fucked up, man. It's just like not right here.
The German porn has to be the most. The German and Japanese porn has to be the most bizarre. There was one German porn where it's a guy dressed as a priest. And obviously, I don't understand what's going on, but it's a guy dressed as a priest, and then a woman comes in and she's dressed like a nun, and they start talking, they start talking in German. And I'm like, what's going on here? All of a sudden, the girl just lies on the floor, and the guy who's dressed like a priest takes his pants off and starts shading on her face, and he's screaming while he's doing it. And I'm thinking, all right, that's enough of that. That was just too bizarre, man.
Yeah, it's true though.
Does he sound like
I watched one. I watched one.
Thank God they didn't win the war, man.
Hey, I watched one in it, a German porno. Same thing happened. This guy sitting there. Next minute, this bird shitting on him. He's going, "Oh, that is good. That is good."
Oh man!
Spraying all over.
Wait, hold on. Let me put it up.
Spraying all over me. Sitting there going, "Oh, that is good."
Did you ever see these videos? It's called Brazilian fart.
Oh yeah. I've seen them.
These Brazilian girls are like farting on each other's faces and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They got like, yeah, and they got like, you know how Brazilian girls. I mean, at least for me, they got like some sexy asses. I mean, they're like built like fucking stallions and shit. They got the smallest waist and the biggest ass and shit. And these girls are like farting on each other. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
then I realized I needed to go to the hospital because I was turned on. I said, "Oh."
There was a photo on Facebook, right? There's this photo on the Facebook where this bird's done a selfie, but she's done a selfie in the bathroom, right? But she's obviously took the picture through the mirror, but it's obviously reflected into the toilet, and she'd fucking Artex the toilet, innit? And not flushed. But she's sitting there looking all pretty, and behind is a fucking Artex toilet. It was just.
Yeah,
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
Watch, man, is a fucking girl, man, fucking down and like fucking gangbang. There's only like one girl, 10 guys, and 10 legit, man. The 10 guys was fucking pissed and cummed in his fucking bowl, and she was fucking down a lot, man.
All right.
That's the most fucked up thing of all.
Dirty bitch.
And you know what?
So what kind of girl would let a man, right, do that on video camera, like everybody can see? Yeah. It's one thing to do it in private. You could always deny it if you're the girl, right? You're like, no, that ain't happening. He's lying.
Right.
But
Nah,
everybody to see it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
The worst one when they let you record it and the fucking pixel on your camera lets you down. You've got like a blurry thing that looks like your penis, but you're not sure.
Fucking hell, man, this podcast, man, what has it turned into?
Well, listen, we talked for boxing.
There's
There's not that
blurring vaginas and penises in Japanese porn.
Yeah,
nah, man, you know that fucking fake taxi, the fucking guy gets his face blurred out. He's fucking like 50 years old, he's banging all these fucking hot youngsters, man.
So is it not allowed like over there? Is that what they're doing? And then they like put it for the world to see?
yeah, it's not over there. It's illegal to show genitals. I think.
Over where?
I have my theory. I have my theory why they do that, but I'm not gonna say it.
In Japan.
I watched the.
Come on, Bucho, you can't do that and then not say what your theory is. You got to say your theory now.
I think it's a joke.
One of my mates went to China last year for a holiday, and he was in a hotel. And one of his mates went off, and basically he was walking through the sort of hotel door, the door room sort of thing to go to the rooms, and basically opposite his room, he came out of his room, and then this guy came out of his room, opened the door, and all you see is 3 fucking prostitutes dressed in leather walking out of his fucking room, man. And my mate was like, "There's some real," and these fucking girls outside fucking hotels in China, literally like begging for cock, like real cheap as well. I'm thinking to myself, these girls are fucking China, man. I mean, fucking all these fucking women, man, fucking begging for sex on the streets and all that, man. China sounds like a good place to go.
Ah, come on, that's not even that tame. I mean, that's a tame story right there. So he saw 3 prostitutes. That's the story.
I gotta ask you guys' opinion.
You should have spiced it up, Cameron. You should have made something up.
You guys are pretty savvy when it comes to this sick shit. But
what? Wait, what?
No, I'm gonna ask you.
Wait, what? All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you a question. So I got a friend, right? So this dude every year goes to Thailand every single year, for the last, I'm gonna say 10 years. So when we get together, we all start talking. We all ask him, "Do you have any pictures, like anything, any evidence that you go over there?" We know he's there because he called me from a weird fucking number one time, right? So he doesn't take his phone, right? Obviously, it doesn't work over there. He doesn't take his phone to like video camera, take pictures, nothing. So we're like, wait a second, is this, is he going over there to do some sick shit that he doesn't, want people to see it? Or is it normal for a guy to go to Thailand all the way to another side of the world and not have no pictures, no evidence? At least he doesn't want to show us. So
Okay.
my question to you guys are, is this guy, is it a good chance he's doing something sick over there? Or he's just
fucking Chinese. Fucking Chinese.
Well, if you want to do something sick, he's definitely going to the right place, isn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, a lot of Thailand
Taking
people,
girl to cop the arms.
a lot of
He's
Thailand
what?
people, a lot of Thailand females are actually he. So maybe he's fucking load of he or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the guys that are in this conversation that I'm talking about, that I always ask him questions. He's like, "Yeah, I think he's over there. Banging the she-males or whatever." I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "Why wouldn't he show us pictures, man?"
That's the thing.
Say one thing, man. Apologies during the podcast. I put you the wrong time considering what we're talking about.
Was that you? Apology. You had a theory about this? What you?
Yeah, the fucking Chinese. Like, that's the Chinese capital of the world.
He said
The what?
that's.
The Chinese capital of the world.
He said the tranny capital of the world is Thailand.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what my friend was telling me. He was like, "Look, there's a lot of trannies over there."
Yeah, 100%.
And I asked him, I said, "How do you know that?"
Yeah, okay. First of all,
dude, I've never been there, but
before we continue on with that subject, which is bizarre, by the way, that story, I want to people in the chat room. John Gonzalez says, "Golden Boy Porn Productions." The Shepherd of Sons asks, "Recognize, is your friend Sean Newton? LOL." Because he lives in Taiwan, which is in Thailand. The Fight Scout says Golden Boy.
He's in Taiwan, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a different place. Fight Scout says Golden Boy Productions. I can see Golden Boy getting into porn, man. The Shepherd of Sun asks, "Is Apology there?" LOL. Yeah, that's the Apology. You chose the worst moment to come into the conversation. We're talking about all these freaky some of the stuff we were talking about earlier would have made you puke, that's for sure. But as to recognize his
sort of stuff.
Was that?
I'm into those sort of stuff.
What are you saying, man?
Yeah, you sound like you're in a... All right. Well, listen, I just want to get one thing straight here. Recognize. How often does he go to Thailand, your friend?
Every year. Every year he goes in the... he goes like around June.
He's got
He'll stay out there for a month.
June?
He's got a wife and kids over there, recognize. Put money on that.
Well, that's what
I was thinking that too. I was like, you know what? I bet you this guy got a girl pregnant over there because he's one of those guys that I never had it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're attractive. He's always had an Asian fetish. You know, like these Asian girls. Is all that's all he dates is Asian girls.
I kind of do as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're pretty. Don't get me wrong. I just like varieties. I like my American whores. You know?
I like my Latinas, man.
Them the most.
But
where
are you finding Latinas in the fucking south of England?
That's a good point. Yeah.
That was going to be my next question. Is there a Latin population over there? Or a reasonable size?
Yeah, Brazilians and Spanish, Portuguese.
Oh, they're the best. Come on, man.
Hey, we've got the original Latina. The original.
Yeah, you're talking Brazil. You're talking to Brazil. You're talking Spain and the Portuguese.
Yeah,
that's a pretty nice. That's a pretty nice combination.
Yeah, there's a lot of Brazil. I used to go to a Brazilian lady used to cut my hair. I used to go to a really nice girl she was. But her daughters were very attractive. I didn't mind her taking her time with my haircut when they walked in. That's for sure.
Did they fart? Did they fart on each other? The Brazilian girls? Or?
Did they fight over the scarf?
The thing is, though, I was quite surprised to find out there was a lot of Brazil play their home games in England when they play in Europe. They've got two homes. They play in Brazil and they play in England as well. So I was surprised. Brazil fills Wembley Stadium when they play. So obviously a lot of them are English fans, but Brazil have got we've got a lot of Brazilians over here. Portuguese, there's millions of Portuguese over here, man. There's loads.
That's interesting.
In Queens, there's a part of Queens where there's a lot of Brazilians. God damn, these girls, like, you know, I know some of them are enhancing their ass. I know that for a fact. I'm sure they are. Because not all of them are built like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But God, I mean, you just walk by. You walk around with a heart on. Like this is, you can't help it, you know?
I always walk around with a heart on anyway.
You guys get turned off a bit.
Apology, man. You gotta speak up because we can't hear what you're saying, man. All right, now he's got his mute. By the way, recognize
the best girl I ever had was a Brazilian girl. Her name was Nanda.
Nanda.
I just love saying her name, Nanda.
I tell you, when you go to the Spanish islands for a holiday, mate, some of them Spanish women are fucking unbelievable, honestly.
Yeah, the Spanish women are very liberal when it comes to sex. But I just wanted to get to recognize his friend, if he is indeed his friend. First of all, you say he goes every June. Everybody knows that's tranny season. Number two, and this is no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But number two, and this isn't a joke. What I'm about to say, there was a documentary here in Canada about Canadians. They almost always used to be like old men they go to Thailand to, you know, to fuck prostitutes and all that. But they said that if you go to Thailand too often, your government starts putting tabs on you and shit like that, because they know that usually the only reason why people go there that often is, you know, for prostitution, and they tend to frown upon that. So maybe your friend is being watched as we speak right now, man.
You know what's funny? He said this year, he at least, because we always tease him about it, so we have a theory he's either lying to us, because he's kind of cheap with his money, right? So we doubt that he's going to buy a ticket last minute, which will cost him more money, right?
Right.
So we asked him this year, we like, are you going this year? And he's like, I'm not sure yet. So I'm wondering now if they're keeping tabs on him, and maybe he's being honest and saying he's not sure he's going or he's not going, or he's just trying to lie to us, and he is going because he doesn't want us to, like, you know, joke on him and make jokes about him.
Hey, mate, you'll be surprised how many men have gone to Thailand and blown their whole life savings over there.
Jeez.
Telling you.
That's insane, man.
Telling you.
But
he's always saying that his money goes real far, whatever that means.
Well, that means he's a fucking pervert. No, I don't know. Listen, the point is this. People go to Thailand. People go to Thailand, fine. You know, if you like Asian women, that's all right. But this is my personal preference. I need myself an ass. I need a nice round ass. Maybe that's my Mexican genes. I don't know. But there was a study that came out a couple of months ago. I think it was last year, that said that people that like long women with long legs, or that are leg people, they're usually in higher economic strata. Meanwhile, the people that love tits and ass tend to score lower on the economic strata. To that, I'll just say this:
makes sense.
If liking asses means you're poor, then I guess I'm a fucking vagabond. I'm a bum. I'm a hobo, because I love me some ass, man. And if that means that I gotta be poor the rest of my life, so be it.
BDA, man, I would join you with that, man. We all know how much I love ass. I would join you with that.
Exactly. Asians, I mean, look, they're cute and everything, but they got no ass. Most of them. I don't want to generalize, but they got no ass. What do you want from me?
They got flat asses, man. They got flat asses, man. I mean, look, I think Asian girls, some of them are right, man. But they've got no body on them, man. They're all fucking skinny as fuck, man. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I need a girl with an ass. I mean, I'm not talking about fat, blubbery. You know, I don't care for that shit. But I'm talking about a woman with a nice curves, and she got a nice, rump on.
See, I like them like little peachy things. I do. I don't like big fat asses. I don't want no fucking truffle. I don't want no truffle shuffle ass in front of me when I'm fucking bending it over. Fuck that.
Oh, we're not saying fat sauce. We're saying.
I don't want to be sitting where my arms are not fucking long enough to reach each side of the ass, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now 4 o'clock in the morning, after a few drinks, I don't mind a big fat blubbery ass.
Well, there you go.
I've eaten some decent ass. You know what I mean? I've had some decent ass. But the thing is, one of my exes didn't have that great of an ass, so it wasn't great. But everyone else, man, they're decent asses, man. In fact, she didn't have any tits either. I don't even know what I was with her, actually. Fucking slag.
Are you guys fussy about what the old vagina looks like? She's fit. She's fit, and she's got like one that looks like a fucking squash kebab.
Don't look at it.
As long as it doesn't smell.
All right.
Listen, if it looks like
funny about that. Some guys are funny about
that. Squash kebab.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, if it smells, I'd rather take a blowjob. I'll be like, listen, can you just blow me?
Yeah, that's what I did, bro. Once upon a time, man. She smelled like shit.
Hey, but what about if her breath smells as well?
Hey, what if it looks like a pastrami sandwich? Is that bad for you guys, or?
Bro.
I'm just asking. You said the fucking squash kebab or whatever. Why not?
Some girls' fucking arseholes are fucking weird as well, don't they? You know what I mean? Like, they're fucking permanently gaping and shit, you know what I mean?
I'm just telling you.
Well, that's the thing about what's it called? There's an article that I was reading, because I wanted to make sure it was true, but they say that if girls and guys also that have anal sex, they tend to suffer from incontinence. And apparently it has been scientifically... Yeah, it's been scientifically proven. So, You better watch it with that anal sex, man. Let's just put it that way.
Well, most girls don't like it, man. Like all the girls I've met have never been fans of it. A lot of them never tried it. But some girls I've spoke to, you know what I mean, but never met. They're fucking anal whores, man.
All right, listen, guys.
When they hit a certain age, they'll be walking around in diapers, I guess.
You might as well.
Remember that story I told you about that girl in the nightclub that fucking shit herself while she was dancing?
Oh yeah. Wait. I gotta get this. Who was it?
I didn't hear this story.
But yeah, that's the thing. Somebody had recognized. I think had the story about the girl that farted on him, and then Stu,
she
I
had
don't.
on my lap and she fucking farted. I was like, what the hell's wrong with you?
But Stu, I don't remember.
She was.
No, that happened to me as well. Remember,
Oh,
I told you
okay.
it happened to me as well.
Okay, that clears things up. So, but I don't remember that story about the girl that shit on your floor or whatever.
No, I don't remember that either.
She got ruined on Facebook for it, man. I don't think she's ever shown her face since. She's turned up in this like in a white dress, innit? Looking all pretty and prim and proper, dancing away to the music. Next minute, just shit started spraying out of her dress.
Oh
man, maybe you know what?
The bowels had gave way on her. She'd been fucking rogered up the fucking Gary, hadn't she, the night before? And her bowels have gave way, and she shit herself in front of everybody.
Oh man,
disgusting. Did get this some girl?
What?
I think the worst one, man, was when what I used to do when I used to let my ex out. She used to fucking fanny fight. I used to think she was proper flying. I was closing my eyes. Do you know what, man? I swear to God, man. I literally thought you were fucking flying. I was fucking lifting her out, thinking, what the fuck's going on? I thought you were fucking flying. I'm holding shit.
My God.
The funniest ones are the squirters. Like, I checked this bird, mate, and I tell you what, she'd put out a house fire. She wouldn't.
Jeez.
She'd fucking put out a house fire, mate. It was horrible, man.
I was fucking drank a lot, man.
Well, listen. On that note, I think we're gonna end it.
I knew he was gonna say that. Should we get back to big boxing?
Yeah, we gotta go.
I see nobody's excited about Tony Bellew.
Every show, man, I'll tell you something about that, and it's always like, right, on another note.
Well, I mean,
it's always you that starts these sex conversations.
It wasn't me this time, man. It wasn't me this time, man. I just joined in.
Yeah, that's what you say, man. Listen, we gotta end it on a high note. We can't end on a low note. We gotta end when the energy's high. Yeah, we can't hear you, man. We can't hear you pretty well.
Apology, go and buy a mic, man, a proper mic.
Apology, are you there?
Something happened.
Yeah, I think something happened. I mean, I heard somebody farting.
That German in that porn video.
He collapsed.
You know what happened? I heard a Brazilian farting on him, and then he hung up. So I think he got.
I heard some wind. It was like some wind, and then next thing you know, Apology was going to say something. And cut off.
That's right. Yeah.
I wonder if he was looking. What if he was looking through his neighbour's window with the ladder and the wind blowing down?
Yeah, he was. He was making sure that he was making sure they weren't having anal sex. That's Apology Man is the neighborhood watch. You know. He's like, are you?
He'd open the window and say, "That's disgusting."
All right. Listen,
guys, I'm gonna walk in to the hospital and see my boy real quick. And,
all right.
You guys stay on. I'm just gonna mute myself.
Recognised. Ask him if a nurse has farted on him since he's been in stay.
Well, look, listen, we gotta go, man. We gotta go. Like we're gonna end it now. I want to thank everybody for coming. Stu, Recognize, Cameron, and
I've got a feeling this is gonna be a show that I'm gonna listen back to and think, fuck me.
Well, listen, we're gonna do another one tomorrow, probably a second Renaissance on Thursday, and maybe even a Friday show. I don't know because there's a lot to talk about. So yeah,
I'll be out Thursday or Friday night, but yeah, if you're doing a second Renaissance, man, I'll be on.
Often, perfect, sensational. That they'll give us a chance to talk more about the porn we've seen and whether it's detrimental to her. But yeah, man,
I'll be on tomorrow night as well, man.
All right, perfect. Great. Good to hear. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Boxing Kills TV, Steven Skillrose, See Me, Fam Ollie, Quincy Pinola, Casey Robinson, Fam Ollie, Chris Gonzalez, stay strong out there. Shepherd of Sons, Michael Stott. I know Dale Boy was there as well. Recognize was in there as well before he hopped on. Boxing Style, Shepherd of Sons. Did I already say that? Cover Operative, Kiwi Box, Ivan Chuberkis, Mighty Claire. You guys know who BDFFVX or something like that. That's a weird name. You guys know who you are. You make this show what it is. Very entertaining. Oasis was in there as well.
BDA, is there any update from what was the person? Concerned MILF. Any update from her?
No, she fucked off. And I'm glad. I don't give a fuck what she thinks. Or her little brat of a son. What was his name? Little Dominic. Little Dominic. Yeah, they can go fuck off right off. And if you listen to this Concerned MILF, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna end up like those women that Stu knows. They're dancing, all of a sudden they start shitting on themselves because they've gotten too much anal sex. All right, that's what's gonna happen to you.
He's had too much anal sex from little Dominic.
Oh, come on. Yeah, see, Cameron, I mean, we're having fun here. We're doing jokes, making jokes, and then all of a sudden you come up with an atomic bomb.
Sorry, man.
Nuclear bombs.
What last thing to say is, have a good night, people, and see you tomorrow night.
By the way, you know I'm kidding, right?
Yeah, man, 100%, man. I know, man. We have good chats, man.
You know I'm kidding about, yeah. But you do drop some. We're here shooting like throwing grenades. All of a sudden you drop an atomic bomb on us, man. Boom! Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, if you go back and listen to like when I first came on the show, I was just like pretty, boxing, pretty quiet with the boxing. I'm just fucking all over. This show's really turned me, man. Changed me as a person.
Oh, you're gonna blame us?
What was that, bro?
You're gonna blame us?
No, I blame myself.
There you go. There you go. That's what I want to hear.
For not keeping myself under control.
Hey, listen, makes for a good show, man. Just that's it. You gotta know when to drop them. Those atomic bombs. I used to be like that too. I would drop atomic bombs and people would go, "Listen, BDA, you're freaking us out here." And you know what? I never stopped. So that's a little takeaway right there. A little lesson from you. Never stop. The Punisher says, Lil Dom wants BDA and Bucho as his dads. That's the last thing you want, man. All right, Pavel.
End the show on that.
Yeah, I gotta end it on that. Pavel, I also forgot to shout out to Pavel and to Rodney Davies, the Quags, John Gonzalez, the Punisher. Shout out to you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, let's see you, Cameron. Take care. By the way, Cameron, when are you gonna do another show?
Probably, well, whenever, maybe this weekend sometime. Yeah, sometime this weekend, man.
All right, just to know so that we don't overlap or anything. Check out Cameron Gillian's YouTube channel and also check out Recognize the Matrix's channel. And again, I want to thank you guys for coming on. You make this show entertaining, especially at the end when we start talking unboxing. And what else? Yeah, we'll just see you on the next one, folks. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.